Hydra.
Hydra. Oh, fan.
I'm going to have to try to find a longer clip than that. The first time I put this together, the whole thing played. I think I said that last week. But hey, everybody, it's already Saturday again. Holy crap. Feels like we just did this the other day. So I'm going to open this up on kind of a downer. But don't worry, we'll get to the fun stuff. First, and this isn't like it's a more important than the other thing I'm going to talk about. First of all, rest in peace to Anthony Stewart Head, Giles, The Ripper, Repo the Genetic Opera. Apparently Ted Lasso. I never watched Ted Lasso, but apparently he was in that too. That's 3 Buffy stars gone. Michelle Trachtenberg, Nicholas Brendan, and now Anthony Stewart Head. So rest in peace. The second thing I want to talk about real fast, and I won't get too much into this, but it's kind of weird doing a show today, and I wanted to do a show today. It is Saturday. Today would have been my dad's 65th birthday. We lost him 5 years ago, this past April the 13th, and he never hit 60. So, I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing to talk about, but I would have been totally remiss if I didn't say, happy heavenly birthday to my dad, who I miss every day. Like I said, I'm opening it on a sad note, but we're going to get into the fun stuff. I had to talk about that, so if it seems like I'm not as energetic as usual, it's, I got a lot on my mind thinking about that. I miss him all the time. So, all right, now that I got the sad stuff out of the way, want to talk about a couple of things before I bring all the folks on. We're still going to have a good time tonight, folks. Don't worry about it. Trust me, my dad wouldn't want me sitting around sulking. He'd want me to do something that I love doing, and this I love doing. So, first off, I want to talk about is a Kickstarter I found the other day, just randomly, Facebook ad. It's called Sweet Death. Got some killer art, some awesome covers. I sent the link to Triple B. Maybe Triple B will show off some of those covers on his show. But who knows? But check it out. It looks really cool. Great art. Second thing I want to talk about real fast, I'm going to have to share this. I just saw, I think it was yesterday. I don't want to do that. What am I doing? I want to share an image. There we go. Want to share an image. So this is coming from Comics Elite. Now, I've made no bones about I love Dork. I think Dork is an awesome series. I'm a big fan of it. Now, for issue number 5. Now, my favorite series is getting one of my favorite people to do a cover. Garrett Gunn of Good Boy fame and many, many other awesome projects is getting a cover for issue 5. I don't know how. I'm going to try to find a way to get this because I love Garrett. I love this series and I want to support both. But yeah, it was really awesome to see that, Garrett, like I said, it's not just about me loving his books. We've met Garrett. We've eaten with Garrett. Garrett has sent me things. He sent us things. This is the guy. This is the reason that I support the indies. Because this guy he's just a terrific human being. And he makes time for the people that enjoy what he calls his silly stuff and his trash art. I'm never going to let him live down when he tells me he's not an artist, he can't draw. Never going to let him live it down, ever. I don't care how tired he gets of it. I love this cover. I love this series. Garrett, congratulations. Like I said, that's coming from Comics Elite, I believe. So yeah, just wanted to talk about that real fast. Also, still got some issues of the EXP's first exclusive Ben 10 by artist Jay Fosgett. Scan that QR code. You still pick it up from the site. If you're oh my goodness, I blanked on the thing. A first print. There we go. If you're a first print person, this might be the only way, unless you go to the aftermarket, to get a first print of anything. This is technically a first print. So be sure to check that out. You got a bundle deal, all that good stuff. Now we do have an issue number 2, but I'm not going to show it yet because I got questions about it. But the EXP is getting a number 2 exclusive as well. Let's see, something else. Hey, what's up, Lorena? Something else real quick. I wanted to brag. I try not to brag too much. But I had a video that I dropped October 30th of last year that is still getting views, that has boggled my mind, that today when I checked it and when I took this picture, it's where it was, but I think it's gotten more now. But Murder Mary Unboxing and Review has finally hit, not only hit 1,000, but surpassed 1,000 views in less than it took almost a year, right? But if there's anybody out there that thinks, my video only got like 10 views, I should pack it up, you never know. This is freaking insane to me. The fact that a video that released a year ago, we have a few videos that have done like 200 and 300 views or still get a view that we released 2 or 3 years ago. That's wild. But the fact that this video kind of took off and is over 1,000 views now is insane. Plus the book is amazing. Cannot wait to get in issue 3 of this one. But yeah. So also, folks, the XP Live, that is the channel that I produce shows on. I'm the second producer guy. Kyle's our head producer, but he's got to do other work behind the scenes, so I run a lot of the shows. But if you haven't checked us out over there, please do. A lot of great folks in our community. Just one of the best comic communities I've ever had the pleasure of being a part of. You know, I don't just say this stuff because it's my job. I say it because I genuinely love it. I watch the shows on my days off, which is kind of weird, but yeah, so check us out if you haven't. We are at almost 730 subs. We are 2 away. So we're getting there. I saw a video we released not that long ago that said 451 subs, and I'm like, that wasn't even a year ago. Maybe a little less than a year, maybe a year. I don't know. But the fact that we're starting to see this growth is amazing. It's awesome. I appreciate everyone. I think I speak on behalf of the entire Hydra Asylum when I say that. We really appreciate y'all watching our stuff. Now that I've gabbed on for what feels like forever, I'm not the only one here tonight. First of all, he said no cool entrance. I'm going to do it for him anyway. I'm going to say his name so he appears, because I believe in the weird one.
Hey, what's up, Jay?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I had to wake myself up after that long, boring intro you did.
I know. Sorry. Hopefully the next person is still awake. Folks, he is America and the internet's imaginary friend.
Oh, sorry, we're live.
And I know that's fake because that's not loud enough. What's up, man?
Another day in paradise, dude. Another day.
Well, welcome back to our show that we only see you once a month on.
Right? Yeah. I'm not allowed to plan anything in advance because then it gets taken away from me.
Very true.
All on next Saturday.
Yep, we were going to have a twofer, folks, and I was going to do an announcement until we found out, no, we're not going to have a twofer.
Yeah.
So.
Before you get started, Jay.
Yeah.
Your intro about your dad.
Mm-hmm.
I give you a lot of kudos for doing that because this will be, believe it or not, the 40th anniversary of when I lost my dad. And if I were to do what you did, I would have probably started blubbering. And just the fact that you usually cry at everything and you plug through that for your dad, kudos to you, brother.
Oh, yep. When we're off the air, though. When we're off the air, it'll probably.
Oh, I'm sure.
It'll happen off the air for sure.
Yeah.
But they say it gets easier with time. It'll be 40 years this September. I still miss him like crazy.
Yeah.
And if I start talking about it, I'll blubber right here for everybody. So.
Yes. There is no getting easier. It's just you have your days where it's good. You have your days where it sucks. December is 20 years for my mother. So yeah, best thing to do is just remember him like the awesome person he was,
Yep.
and throw in a sarcastic joke here and there tonight in the vein of his humor.
Uh-huh.
My dad had the driest sense of humor. It was hilarious. He's
Was
just
so great.
he was so funny. He was so funny. You might notice though, folks, that we're kind of a person down on the hangout tonight. Nope is camping. He's in his RV.
He got a tow behind trailer, but they're doing river floating, so he's probably butt ass in the water floating down a tube somewhere.
There we go.
Exactly.
He's living the dream.
Hopefully, if he catches on the rewind or anything, hoping y'all have a great time. So speaking of that, folks, as always, I got to plug them. They're the co-hosts, the co-captains of the Hydra Hangout, the Weirdos. Make sure you scan that QR code. If you're not subbed up to them, please do so. That short you released of the intro on the show, man, got over 1,000 views. So awesome on that, man.
The show, the intro, what?
That
Yeah,
short.
you're short where you did Joe Hendry's song.
Get out of here! That's at 1,000.
Yeah.
I haven't even checked it. I just did that for fun. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I released one last night with Superman meeting Supergirl that I had kind of cut and did some editing on to shorten it up a bit. And I sent it out and it wasn't doing anything. And before I went to bed, which was like maybe an hour after, it was over 100 already. I was like, yeah, well, somebody's got an interest in it. But then, don't ask why. I wake up this morning and check, and it's at 800. I'm like, oh, cool. But I lost 2 subs. It's like 160 is our curse. We have crossed 160 3 times since December. And now we're back at 159 again. And it's like, so I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to make another video. So I made a little funny haha video today that'll release in a couple hours. It's like, screw it. I don't care. I'm doing it for my own amusement at this point.
I'm still interested to see Project Hail Mary, to be honest with you. Like, I know nothing about it. I know it was a book. I know it's by the same guy that did The Martian, and I like The Martian. So,
I saw it. It was interesting.
Yeah, might be a stream and watch for me. So, I might just go ahead and get something of Sean's, unless Sean wants to do it some other time. But I wanted to show something off. I had some stuff that I picked up from Ollie's. We did a little trip where we went and ate, and we went to Ollie's.
What is Ollie's?
So Ollie's is like what is the best way to? It's not a resale shop, but it's.
Oh, I get it.
They basically get like factory leftovers, discontinued items, stuff like that.
We had one. We had one that was up here that I used to go to all the time. The name escapes me, but they always had like walls of dollar comics and like dollar cassettes and dollar CDs and $5 DVDs. And I used to go in there all the time. I can't remember the name of it now. I'll think of it and then yell the name out later and scare the hell out of everybody when it pops into my head. Got hit by lightning. All those old books, all those old comics. Ash. Dude, I dropped a tear when that happened. I love that place. Jelly Beans. That was the name of it. Well, I'm just thinking of all those books and comics that gone.
Not yet, Lorena, but I can't wait. We're going to talk a little bit about something. I think that's like the first topic I have on here, actually. But no, haven't seen it yet. Still super excited to. The word of mouth has been great. Not that I listen to that anyway, but I like the fact that people are talking positively about it. But so we went to Ollie's, and Ollie's got these dollar comic packs. I loved when Walmart did something like that. Walmart had like 5-6 pack of comics for like $3 or something like that. So I bought a pack, and I bought the pack specifically for one comic. I'm going to show that one off first. After looking at this further, I remember reading it for either in stores this week or for a minute to skim it when I was on that show. But this is issue 3 of Star Trek Halloween. This is the whole reason I picked this up, because it had this book in there.
How the hell did I miss that series? That's what I want to know. How did I miss that? I'm always looking for Halloween. The only thing I can think of was because they spelled it after the holodeck.
I mean,
when you sent that to me earlier this week, I'm like, some bitch. I can't believe that would be like me finding something Superman you never knew existed. I mean, what are the odds?
Yeah, like I said, it wasn't until after I had taken it out and I was like, I looked at the spelling and I was like, oh, that's right. This was a series of maybe last year before, something like that. Because I remember reading issue 1. So after that, I was like, you know what? It's issue 3, but that's all right. I picked it up specifically in honor of Ed, who might actually eventually get it.
I'm going to score.
So this we already had a copy of. I think we have most of this series. This is a Serial from Terry Moore from Abstract Studio. This is basically a girl that murders predators. And I'm not talking Yautja or animals. So I want to say, unfortunately, hold on. Unfortunately, this series is in black and white, Ed, but this would definitely be an Ed book, I think. The art, this is Ian Wallace. This is the guy that every time he's done a Justice League character, there we go, Justice League character on Comic Collectibles, I'm like, he did a Flash, he did a Martian Manhunter, a Green Lantern. I think the other day he did a Vampirella that looked really good. Yeah, this is Ian Wallace, and he's actually was in the chat for one of the shows too. So, yeah.
Oh, is that the guy that lives overseas in Michigan?
Yes.
Yeah. I never knew I was out of country before. Who knew?
Eight-year-old dude? What?
Huh?
You have to explain that, Lorraine. I don't get.
8-year-old dude.
Yeah. You have to explain that one. I'm very lost. Another thing.
Maybe she's saying that Star Trek book is 8 years old. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Maybe. This is Alpha Flight number 3. Who is Nemesis? Never read any Alpha Flight before.
Is that like another superhero group or something? I've heard of it, but I don't know.
I think that's like the mainly Canadian.
Oh, Canadians. Oh, I'm kidding. Totally kidding.
We're here to kick your ass, eh?
Yeah.
I'm only like 40 miles away from the front line, eh? They don't scare me none.
And then it sucks that Ed's not going to be able to see this. But there was a variant cover in here. It's Scorched 22. Forget who. Damn it. I knew who did the cover the other day, and now I forgot. But got this awesome variant cover. It's black and white she-spawn with green eyes. You can't really see the green on the cover.
Oh, it's the John Cena cover.
Yes.
That makes me feel better.
Cover C by NGU. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce that. Oh,
I
from
never saw Big Lebowski, so I still don't know what she means. But
okay,
maybe you do.
It's been a long time. I need to rewatch that movie. It's been a long time. And then the last one I got is a number 1. It's Show's End from Mad Cave. I remember hearing about this one. Never read it.
That looks like a fun read, just from the cover.
Yeah, and it's Mad Cave, and we really dig.
Is that oversized, or does it just look it?
It probably just looks at it.
Okay.
About the same as.
It just looks wider for some reason. I don't know.
Huh.
I'm mentally challenged. I don't know.
Well.
Very much.
Oh, okay. I got you now, Lorraine. So, I want to go to Ollie's. Like, I love going to my local comic shop. Don't get me wrong, but I also love going to these places that have these deals and have these packs. And next time we go to Ollie's, I want to kind of raid their packs of comics. And if I get dupes or anything, maybe sometime down the road.
Do you know these people? Is it a mom and pop's place?
No, they're a chain.
It's a chain.
Oh, I was just curious if you went in there once and just asked them if they'd mind if you did a little quick walkthrough. You could do a quick video for a short and show people the Ollie's.
I bet if I ask. I mean, it never hurts. So the worst they can do is tell me no.
If Jelly Beans was still around, I'd do it because I loved that place.
So the last thing I picked up, I haven't even opened this yet. This is a hardcover DC Black Label Suicide Squad Blaze. Now this is oversized. Know nothing about it. It's pretty. Yep, there we go. Oh, it's upside down still, but
that
pretty good
front
size.
cover kind of reminds me of that second edition Ben 10 thing.
Now this is the reason I love Ollie's. I want to support comic shops when I can, but sometimes I can't. This was originally a $30 book, and I got it for $6.99. Can't beat that. A hardcover. I mean, I know nothing about it. Same place I picked up the Junkyard Joe from, by the way. That I said next time if there's more copies of Junkyard Joe, I'm gonna pick them up. But so yeah, that was a little thing right there.
Would you mind plugging a buddy's Kickstarter for me?
I sure will.
I sent you the link in our PM. I don't know if anybody ever watched Comic Book Men or if you're familiar with Comic Book Men, but Mike Zapsik was on there. And him and I became friends over the internet. And I actually got to know him through a podcast that I'd pop in on, and we'd play games and crap together. And he's a really good guy. And he's taken a shot at doing a comic with a buddy of his. And it's just on the wait list right now where you sign up to be notified when it goes live. But give it a look. If it looks interesting, maybe help him out, because I'd love to see him do more in comics. He has such a passion for comics. And I keep nagging him to bring Comic Book Men back. I said, do it as a podcast. I don't give a shit. So this is to you, Mike, that if you'll ever see this video, but good luck with your Kickstarter.
Very cool. That's what we're all about here, man. Pushing channels, pushing comics. Now, again, have not seen He-Man yet. Can't wait to. But here's something that I'm going to say. Don't listen to critics. All right? I don't really pay attention to Rotten Tomatoes scores or anything like that, like critic stuff. I do pay attention to audience scores, which some of my favorite movies are like -12 on critics and like 65 to 85% on audience scores. And again, that doesn't sway me from watching something, but it's nice when something I'm excited for is talked about in a positive light. And this movie is getting a lot of positivity. A lot of people that were like, I don't want to watch this because of Jared Leto, are saying that this is actually one of the best roles that he's ever done. I've seen some clips. It's silly and campy in parts. It's not overly serious, and that's exactly what I was hoping for. I don't need a dark and serious Masters of the Universe. I want something silly. I want a groan. I want to hear a joke in there that does not land with me and groan. That's what I want. So I'm excited to hear that people are reacting positively to it. Like a lot of people that I trust their judgment on things have been like, yeah, this movie is great. So that sword cup, yes, Lorena, the sword cup, the Castle Grayskull like cup holder popcorn thing. I want all that stuff, but it's ridiculous.
Did you see the He-Man sword that Walmart has?
No.
Oh man, I saw it on their website, and I'm like, God, I wish I could justify blowing money. It looks just like the He-Man sword, but when you hold it up, there's a button, and it's got like lightning and shit that looks like it's inside of it, and it glows and zaps and stuff. It's like, I want that so bad, but I would get killed if I bought a toy.
And yes, Lorena, a Battle Cat popcorn bucket. They made a Lobo one. They made a Lobo one on his Space Hog popcorn bucket. Why can't we get a Cringer / Battle Cat one? Or,
I thought they did a Battle Cat one.
Maybe they haven't. I just hadn't seen it.
I could have swore I sent a picture of a Battle Cat one, but maybe I'm dreaming.
It lights up and makes sounds. Yep. So, like, I threw this one on here, folks, because again, hadn't seen it, but I've made no bones about how excited I've been for this movie since the first trailer dropped, and every trailer since. In fact, the one they just released is another one of those videos I cannot believe. As much as I'm going to talk about this next one, there have been like the same amount of trailers for. This trailer right here, the reaction to it, I think is almost at 800 views, if not a little over. And to me, that's insane. If I can't get the cup, I'm going to settle for the kids' toy. That's right.
Did you see the popcorn Castle Grayskull?
Is it the one that's got the cup holder too?
Yeah. And it looks like it would take up 2 theater seats. I'm like, how the hell would you use that? You'd have to sit it on the floor or something.
It's like I said, this one, the first year when we started getting a little bit of notice from the community and people watching stuff was Deadpool. Well, apparently this year He-Man was our Deadpool because all the videos have been doing great. And like usually we do a reaction. The first reaction is really big, and then the next one we do is kind of smaller. This is the opposite. This other trailer reaction was like 500 views more than the first one we did. And it's nuts to me. It's nuts to me. I love the fact that everybody that's commented on these videos, it's all been positive. And I've always told people in my videos, if you don't like something, you could say you don't like it, but dislike things, not people, is what I say. If somebody's excited for something and you're not, don't bash the person for being excited for it, and vice versa. If there's somebody that comes into my comments and is like, "Hey, I don't like this" or whatever, don't dogpile on them. They can have their opinion too, as long as they're not, you're not verbally attacking people in the chat. I want people to come in and be like, I have a different opinion. We can talk about it. We could be somewhat gross adults, but I'm just happy to hear that. Like that's the whole rigmarole of this whole thing. Is I'm so happy to hear that this movie has gotten just great word of mouth, because I am so down to see it. I cannot wait. Which I also can't wait for the next one I'm going to talk about, because they released a ticket trailer, I guess is what we're going to call it. Tickets on sale for Supergirl. Again, it's weird to say this, but my excitement for these movies is kind of Masters of the Universe, Spider-Man Brand New Day, and then this one. And that's not to say that I'm not excited to see this, not hyped to see this, because I am. We haven't had a Supergirl movie since 1984, I think. And no shame, I like that one. It's terrible. But Helen Slater as Linda Lee was awesome when I was a kid. I'll still watch it, but again, I'm the same guy that can watch Superman 4 and be okay. So,
One of the worst movies ever made is one of my favorite movies, and that's Toxic Avenger. That movie is so stupid, but I love that thing, and I'll watch it whenever it's on.
here's a lesson for your hot ass.
Exactly. Exactly.
I love the cartoon, the Toxic Crusaders cartoon. I love that cartoon, way ahead of its time.
Do you remember the faces that were like painted on coconuts that he was stomping on, and that was their heads?
Yeah.
That's just brilliant. I love that dumb movie.
Yeah, Lorraine is the only thing that I've seen her in was House of the Dragon, and we didn't even watch all of that. We watched up until where she was replaced with the older. Excuse me, when she grew older, they replaced her, and I thought she was fine in that. The clips that I've seen, because I haven't watched, I try not to watch every single clip, but of course I do. The clips that I've seen, I think she's going to do a terrific job. Again, I am in the house of I like the Woman of Tomorrow comic, and I talk about this a lot because I always feel like I need to defend myself when I talk about the new DC stuff, because when I talk about DCU stuff, you have one sect of fandom that's like, this is garbage and that, this and that and the other, and you probably hated this. Like, no, I liked both. If they could have continued the Snyder stuff as Elseworlds, I would have loved that. That would have been a perfect win-win for me. But it's not happening. I'm moving on. But this movie, I think that there are people out there that want to just be like, just Snyder. People aren't going to like it. There's a lot of folks that don't like Snyder that didn't like the comic it's based off of. The comic is a very divisive comic. I personally loved it, but I know many people who they have told me they hated every DCEU movie that came out. Man of Steel, everything. They were all terrible. That have told me they don't like Woman of Tomorrow. They don't want to watch this movie because it's just a drunk Supergirl. And that's not the whole part of the story, folks. It's not just her being drunk the whole time. Her being drunk is because she's celebrating her 21st birthday off planet. That's only a small fraction of the book. So give it a shot. Even if you did not like the Woman of Tomorrow trade, if you did not like that story, give it another shot. Or give this a shot, I should say. Give the movie a shot. They're only taking, a lot of the story is based off, but there's a lot of stuff that's different as well. Krim doesn't look like that. He looks like a completely different character. There's people complaining, but not complaining about Lobo being in it, not realizing that in the original pitch for this, in the Woman of Tomorrow comic, Lobo was actually part of it, but the studios at the time wanted to do something else with Lobo. So they took Lobo out of it. So having Lobo in here isn't forcing him in. He was originally supposed to be in this story. So just wanted to throw that out there for people saying, they had to put Lobo in it so people would go watch this. I don't believe that's true. Having Lobo in there is going to be awesome. I've always said since he was cast as Aquaman, Jason Momoa should have been Lobo. He's going to be perfect. I'm excited for this movie. Yes, it's the third on my list of movies I'm excited for, but I'm excited for all of them in different ways. It's just, Supergirl was 1984. Masters of the Universe was at 87, 89, somewhere around there. I mean, this is childhood stuff. So Spider-Man was that was my first comic strip cartoon I ever read was Spider-Man comics, like in the Sunday Funnies. So I'm excited for all three of these. This trailer looks good. I like the tone of it. I know we're comparing everything in space to Guardians of the Galaxy, but I still think that lends to the credit of what Guardians of the Galaxy did for that cosmic part of Marvel. It's like when I try to explain things to people and I say it's kind of Game of Thrones-ish, it's because Game of Thrones did something so well in my viewpoint that's like a compliment saying that it reminds me of this thing. So this trailer, this aesthetic of it looks like Guardians of the Galaxy. that's only because Guardians is so emblazoned in our heads from, for me, how great the first movie was. So next I want to talk about, and I definitely want to talk about this with Ed, and this is the first time I'm going to talk about this with Sean. But this was actually said last year about Tyler Hoechlin wanting to play Batman. But it's resurged this year.
Yep.
I think just a couple weeks ago he said something at a con or something about wanting to be Batman in the DCU. What are y'all's thoughts on this? Either one of you, go ahead.
He is an acceptable replacement for Alan Ritchson that I'll allow because I so wanted Alan Ritchson to do it. But he did such a great job with Superman and Lois. And if they want to do the Batman where the Batman has a son or whatever that becomes Robin, he's already played a superhero dad, and he did such a fantastic job with it. And you and I have both said before that he's our favorite Clark Kent now. So how cool would it be if he ended up being our favorite Clark Kent and our favorite Bruce Wayne? That's just insane. But none of this is official, but I would love to see that happen if it isn't going to go to Richardson.
Yeah, same. I would love to see him play because we all agree that he had much more to give as Superman. So let's get him in this universe because he's not that old and stuff. So he's one of those you can set up to just be in there for a good while and be the senior character. Plus, I just wouldn't mind seeing him tap into a darker character because Batman is inherently much darker than Superman is. So I'd be curious to see how he plays that.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to go for a dark Batman in this version though, but it'll be interesting to see how they do it. I just hope it isn't too campy because it's really interesting the choices Gunn has made so far. Because the Superman movie was so much fun, and it was like a comic book come to life, and we've all talked about how much we enjoyed it. But then he goes to the Clayface, and that looks like such a dark horror movie that's got me excited because it's horror. And I'm like, how do you blend a happy-go-lucky world of Superman with this dark horror dude? And now if they bring in the Batman, what Batman are they going to bring in? Is he going to be dark? It's just interesting, some of the choices he's made.
Agreed. And the fact that this casting would prove me wrong about what I said last week about, we're kind of hiring older actors because Tyler's 5-6 years younger than me, so he's still in his 30s. He's still a young buck. He's not old and decrepit like I am.
Hey, shut up. You are much younger than me.
I am barely a teenager younger than you, okay? But and this isn't even the best picture I could find. There are some pictures out there, folks, where the guy looks like some comic versions of Batman. He really does. Like when he's shaved, he's got his eyebrows a certain way, and he's got a certain look on his face. They showed a comic panel, and I was like, okay, I could see it. Plus, people give Tyler some crap because he's one of the smallest Supermen we've ever had. I was like, so what?
Give me a break.
So what? I want to be that small. The dude is cut up like shredded beef.
But that's such a dumb argument anyway.
I know.
Because he's strong from the sun. Yep. He could have been a 40-pound weakling. I mean, look at his kids.
Yeah.
His kids had super strength and everything, and they were 100-pound runs. He doesn't need to be jacked like
not every Superman. Not every Superman is Henry Cavill built. There's plenty of them that are Brandon Routh, plenty of them that were Christopher Reeve. And I have a feeling we might get the same thing if he's cast as Batman. To which I say, people gave Pattinson crap, But that's because Pattinson apparently didn't want to put the work in, so he's not like a chiseled Batman. But that Batman movie's still good.
What's funny about that though is Tyler's only 2 inches shorter than Henry.
Yep.
Henry's 6'1", and Henry only weighed like 195 when he played Superman.
Yep.
Like he wasn't huge. He just fucking looked part.
Yeah. So
stupid.
If it's true, I'm totally down. I have gone past the, and again, it's Heath Ledger is the reason, but I've gone past the being upset when anybody gets cast in these movies as a part, because I have no control over that. No reason to get all bent out of shape. B, you never know what an actor's range is until you let them kind of flex what they're doing. I would have never seen some comedians be in the roles they've been in, like some real serious roles. Would have never seen it, and then they blow me away. So I'm all for giving anybody a chance to play whatever, just as long as they don't phone it in and they're trying. They try to do something.
I've said this before, and I apologize, but I still eat crow over it. Nobody made more fun of Pattinson as Batman than I did before the movie. I was calling him Sparkles Batman and Twinkles Batman because of those terrible Twilight movies.
Yeah.
And it's my favorite movie. I loved him as Batman. I thought he did a fantastic job. His acting range was well beyond what I expected when he was Bruce. He's got the sad, somber thing down pat, and the detective skills. I love it. I love that movie. And I ate crow, and I did it in public, and I apologize, even though I'm sure he never heard any of the things I made about him. But that's where I learned, don't judge until you see, because I did not in any way think Twinkle Toes could play Batman. Yeah. And he hit it out of the park.
And Lorena, that would be awesome. Gotham by Gaslight is fantastic. The first trailer they dropped, when he walks up to that dude with the machete and just mollywops the dude, I'm like, the sheer ferocity. I was like, okay, Pattinson, you like, I was giving him a chance. But when I saw that scene, I was like, okay, I think he's going to impress some people. So, and I think Tyler could do the same thing. I enjoy Tyler. Like, let me be perfectly honest with everyone. Until he started playing Superman, I was not a Tyler Hoechlin fan. I had seen him in things, was not a fan of him. There's something about his acting in that stuff. But when I saw he was cast as Superman for Supergirl, I was like,
"What's up, Corey?
What's going on, Corey?" I was like, you know what? I'm going to give him a shot. And again, my favorite on-screen Superman, even more so than Corn Sweat. He is my favorite on-screen Superman and Clark. To me, he is that perfect mixture of both.
Wow,
I have seen the 9/11 movie.
He's over Christopher Reeve?
Christopher and George had their own.
Oh, okay. I get it now.
They got their own plane of existence. Nobody touches them.
Gotcha.
Did I ever show you my Kirk Allen picture?
You may have, but if it's in black and white, you're being mean.
Damn.
You're being
mean.
I
just looked at it. It is in black and white.
You're so mean to me, Jay. I don't know why I help you with these shows. No, I'm just kidding.
Me neither. I haven't. Love you too, brother. I haven't seen Water for Elements. Oh my goodness. Water is an element. Good job, Jay. Water for Elephants. But I have seen that movie that was surprisingly a 9/11 movie.
I had never heard of this man before you told me about Superman Lois. It's the only thing I've ever seen him in.
He was
What 9/11 movie was he in?
not him, Pattinson.
Oh, Pattinson.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What 9/11 movie was he in?
I can't remember. I think the movie's called like Remember Me or something.
No kidding. I never even heard about that. I'll look that up for
It's
sure.
a huge freaking spoiler for the movie, though.
I'll give him chops, Pattinson, because he was okay in the Harry Potter movies. But I still could not believe they picked him to play Batman until I saw the Batman, and then I was like, I'm so glad they picked him to be Batman.
Yeah.
Do you remember the name of that 9/11 movie, Corey? I would definitely like to watch it.
Maybe it is Remember Me. Hold on. Let me remember me. Although gone away. I was thinking the Coco song.
Coco.
Yeah, it's called Remember Me. It was from 2010.
All right, cool. Thanks, Corey. I'll give that a shot. I will give my full report next Saturday on the Hydra Sound.
Oh, Mickey 17. We have that movie, and I still have not watched it.
Mickey 17.
Yes, he's in a movie called Mickey 17.
What's that?
It's about like he gets cloned a bunch of times, but the clones keep dying or something like that. Like the movie looked good. Like after the show, watch a trailer for it. It's called Mickey 17.
Okay.
And yeah, close enough, man. I knew exactly what you're talking about, Corey. So all good. Speaking of all good, Sean, give me an okay whenever you're ready.
Okay.
All right, folks. Since Corey is here, look, he got Sean to turn the camera on. Since Corey is here, I'm going to go ahead and take the chat off the screen real fast. Make sure that Sean's got a big old screen.
Is that sexual harassment panda back there?
Yes.
Nice.
Sexual harassment panda.
Yeah, Corey, I got your connecting covers from Star Wars. I have no idea how I'm going to hold this so that people can see the whole thing. Though, that's the only hard part.
Corey drew a connecting cover?
No, this is that thing that I won from the experience. It's the Ken Hazer, like, Mandalorian. Oh, shit, I'm mirrored.
I think that's Boba Fett.
Fucking amateur. All right, there we go. Now it's correct.
That's definitely Boba Fett.
Hold on, man. We're gonna work this out live. Hold on.
Yeah, okay, we'll do it live. So I'm trying to figure out how.
Whoa. He just said they're going to do it live. And he's in his bedroom.
I got to remember how to.
And Jay's going to finish in a flash.
That one. And then
This has entertainment written all over it.
Oh, that one goes on the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay. So
All right, now get behind Sean and kind of straddle him and hold the books up by his ears. And
Hold on, folks. This is kind of.
No, too high.
Lower.
There we go. That looks good.
There you go.
That's Ken's. I recognize that signature.
Yeah,
That's Ken
it's Ken.
Hazer.
So
Very nice.
I got this. I just got to figure out how to frame this more than anything, because which means I got to break the dynamic forces seal in the back. It's the only part I feel bad about. But yeah, I got it, Corey. It's they're awesome. Like when you have them actually displayed out on the table without having to do all this goofy stuff, they look really cool. So I just got to figure out a
Did
way.
Corey buy them or something?
Yeah, I was on this show for a little bit, and then I passed out and woke up to a thing from Jay. He was like, "Yeah, you won the giveaway." I'm like, "What giveaway?" He's like, "Oh, Corey bought the Mandalorian connecting covers and said if I buy this, everybody's eligible." And apparently, I woke up and boom, Corey gave me a gift. So I appreciate it, brother. I've had them for like a week, but work, finally able to get on the camera. Hopefully, here in a couple weeks, that will actually be more frequent. Like, and Ed, I'm saying that with like certainty this time. I don't feel like it's allegedly. I don't feel like it's BS.
Good.
In 2 weeks, I was supposed to actually start the schedule next week, but our other dude's going on vacation. So the week after, I should actually start that schedule where I'm off most Fridays and Saturdays.
Nice.
So I'm actually excited about that because, yes, means I can be here more, means I can get on a set schedule, making videos and stuff, harassing Jay a little more. And stuff
It's the
like that.
harassment that I like, though. I just want to show, since he's here, just want to show him. I wasn't kidding, Corey. I just had to find it. It's up on the wall. Right next to Man 199. My Action Comics art piece. And then once I find CJ drew a Superman for me, it's in the comics somewhere. As soon as I find that one's going to go in this spot right here. So y'all are on my wall.
Yeah, my big thing is get a desk together so that I can get all that set up, and I will be over there on that side of the room, provided I can get everything done good.
Ooh.
Damn. And I'm here griping about having to do 8 straight. I'm just gonna shut up now.
Damn.
Well, I hope you enjoy your time off, Corey. You sure as hell earned it.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
My hazers, they are
Somewhere.
damn it.
He still hasn't had a chance to really totally unpack it.
Yeah. I'm still going through my comics. I found my Dan Neidlinger one. I found that one. I need to find my Harley, the Batman and Superman you got for me. And there's one other one, I think. But trust me,
But
I got plenty of wall back here. You might not be able to see it on camera, but this whole wall is going to be covered in stuff that y'all have given me graciously. I always appreciate it. And some of my collectibles and stuff that I find. Like,
also, Corey, I'm gonna put this out there because Jay reminded me of it. You actually broke my cherry when it comes to these comics. I don't have any CCAs, and that was a goal of mine. So you helped me get my first CCAs too. So there we go.
I believe the term would be popped. But never mind. you got me with broke.
I don't think Sean's seen it yet. My little floating Superman. When you get a chance, come in here in the room. You can see it.
All right, I'll check it out later. That's pretty
Very
dope.
cool.
Yeah, that is dope.
Santa Corey.
I'm telling you, man.
Yeah, I know, right? But it was cool. So now I can literally, I think the only thing left is to actually get somebody just to draw a sketch cover and then an original art piece. And then I will literally have done everything I want to do within the
What do you want? I'll draw you a cover.
Surprise me, Ed. In the same vein that you literally surprised Jay with that hat.
Love this hat.
That I was literally the only one in the house that knew who in the world that might have come from.
Well, see, and I didn't know when it was going to arrive because I was going to tell him to expect something, but it said it would take like 2 weeks, and he got it in like 5 days. So I was like, "Damn, that was fast."
I was going to say, at least you know that place delivers.
And I got the hat that I made for myself like a week later, and I submitted them both the same day, so it's kind of fun.
Which hat's the one that you did?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Here's some other stuff that's going on the wall from my Chris Foreman.
Yeah.
Sketch that he did. There's the first one he did for me. He was like, nobody ever asked me to do logos. And I said, well, every time I see you, brother, that's what I'm going to ask you for. Then he did this one. It's like Green Lantern, Superman mashup that he did. Very cool. So those are going on the wall. next, and then like I said, I got my very first CCA I got was before we had the rule of people from the experience can't win giveaways. So I used to not work the art show. That used to be Kyle's. Kyle would do Friday nights. So I was in the chat, and the first thing I won was a CCA. It was a Loki one. It was really cool. I don't know where it's at. I got to find all this stuff, but yeah, this whole office, as soon as we get a chance, is going to be covered in stuff. And I'm going to grab real fast. I'm going to grab. Come on, Jay, use your words. Chris's Instagram, if y'all want to check out, because Chris is an artist that I can't believe more people don't know about. Super awesome guy. He used to do, when Jenna was working for Space Cadets, they would do pop-up events. Like, if a movie was coming out, they would go there with comics and stuff and sell them to people who were coming out. Well, Chris was there doing art prints and stuff and doing sketches. And again, we've gotten a bunch of stuff, a bunch of prints from him. He's kind of like our buddy Brian Belando. I can't believe more people don't know about this guy. But do yourself a favor. I'm gonna put his Instagram in there. Go check out some of the pieces that he's done. They are fantastic, and he's a great dude. Great dude. Love getting stuff from him. Need to see him again so I can get me the next one I want to do is either a Greatest American Hero, or I want to do just a regular Flash. So let's see, got a couple movie things.
Greatest American Hero would be cool.
I still can't believe I don't have a shirt yet.
I keep waiting for Hazer to take off because he is by far my favorite CCA guy that I've seen on the EXP. I've never, ever seen him do anything poorly. The only thing about Ken that I hate, and the only reason I hate him is because I love it and I can't do it, are those V-bats. He draws those things and they look like freaking bats. And I've sat here and tried them. I'm like, it's a V, you dumbass. That looks nothing like a bat. Ken, how the hell do you do that? What is your magical trick?
Need to get
Have you been? Maybe I've been cursed by Danhausen.
Very nice, very evil. Give him all your human monies.
You've been cursed. I love that idiot.
Yes, 100%. So I don't know if anybody else outside of the group. I don't think. Oh, actually, Sean did watch this because Sean brought it up to me. Red Band trailer for the Ice Cream Man.
Yeah.
Now, when I first heard about this, my first thought was they're remaking the Clint Howard movie. Then when I saw the guy, I was like, oh, they're doing this based off the Image comic, the Ice Cream Man. It's neither. It's an original story from Eli Roth. And this trailer, to me at least, felt like Terrifier, Weapons, a movie called Cooties. It and a Pied Piper story rolled all in one. Like, the thing looks nuts.
I loved it. This trailer just had me hooked immediately. It's going to be so campy and ridiculous that I'm going to love it. I know I will. Especially when it shows the girl using an ice cream scoop to get the guy's brains out and put it in a cone. Come on, man. That's Ed written all over that thing. And I don't care what they say. This character is based off that comic. There's no way it's not. Uh-oh. Are we locked up? Oh, I don't know. It just got dead quiet. Nobody said anything. So I thought
my bad. Sorry.
One
of my drivers reached out to me. I'm halfway trying to make sure everything's cool.
I love it. All Tokyo.
Yeah, this was one of those things where it's campy, but it's also, like, for a slasher, it's really creepy in a good way. But I believe it or not, I'm probably going to try and check it out. which is saying a lot because normally I don't do too much into horror and slasher stuff, but I don't know, for whatever reason I'm kind of curious.
Well, I mean, you're more of a that stuff in comics, right? Like not so much movies, but you like comics that are like that a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Wrong?
No, that is correct. I
Okay.
absolutely slasher and horror comics, freaking fantastic. Slasher and horror movies, and it's because I'm a bit of a pussy and I don't like jump scares, but I'm just going to have to get over stuff like that.
Pussy.
And to answer you, because my mic was muted, that's why.
Oh.
It's so similar. Like the character is so similar because the Ice Cream Man in the comics, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't read it, but it's very well known as soon as you open the book. He's a demon. He's a demon that causes trouble.
And he smiles just like this dude.
Yep. The only difference is he wears what looks to me like a milkman hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's almost the same outfit except it's a black bow tie and a milkman hat. I don't know what they're called. But it looks just crazy enough. It looks like it has the right amount of gore for me. Like Terrifier, I can't watch because I can only do so much when it comes to gore. Kind of like, when I was a kid, I watched the Piranha movies. And then they did that Piranha like reboot. Maybe. They did that Piranha reboot, but it was a little Final Destination-ish kind of mixed in with some of the accidents that happened in that movie. And I'm like, folks, I can only handle one at a time. You either give me gruesome deaths because of accidents or people being eaten. I can't handle both at the same time. That's too much for me. I can handle people getting eaten, but not also Final Destination like accidents.
I could not believe that in this trailer they showed that little girl sawing her mother's head off.
Bro.
I was like, dude. And then the ice cream, I'm like, dude, I am so all over this movie.
Like this one's gonna be gory, but I don't.
It's gonna be a fun type gory. You can tell though. It's not gonna be like a scary to death kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be like a Toxic Avenger type horror.
It's almost like a B horror movie.
B is in beautiful. It looks like it's gonna be gory. I've got my name all over this one when it comes out.
Yeah, I'm definitely checking this one out as well. We have not watched this, and of course, you're not going to give any spoiler kind of thoughts, but I want to hear your thoughts so far, Ed, on Spider Noir.
Interesting. I've only got through the first 4 episodes. I was let down in that the first 3 3/4 episodes, Spider-Man was in it maybe 45 seconds. That's it. It's mostly been Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage, who's trying to be Dick Tracy kind of thing. And they have like some campy humor in it. I don't want to hate on Nicolas Cage, but no matter what part he's given, he's always Nicolas Cage. And it's the same way here, but he's trying to fake a 1940s or 30s or 20s accent. And that takes a little bit of adjustment.
Hey, don't poke your head.
I'm not hating on it. I'm not loving it, but I'm interested into where they're going because the last 10, 15 minutes of episode 4 finally had Spider-Man doing stuff. My wife dropped out, and she's a big Nick Cage fan, but she tapped out after episode 2. She's like, this ain't for me. So that I was kind of bummed about that because I was hoping to watch this together because she's always loved Nicolas Cage. But I'm going to finish watching it. If you like old type movies and you want a little bit of a superhero twist to it, you'll probably enjoy it. if you don't like older style movies, you're going to hate this one because there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of mobster. Silvermane is the main bad guy in this one, and it's kind of interesting because they've introduced us to the Sandman and the Black Cat, but they're totally different than any Sandman and Black Cat that you've ever seen before. And they're actually a couple in this series. The Black Cat is in love with Flint, so that's kind of a different twist. But the guy they got to play Silvermane is pretty good. He's a little dry, no pun intended, Sandman. But overall, I mean, I'm giving it a hashtag not that bad right now. But who knows where they go from here? It could either turn out to be really good, or it could turn out to be another. And I'm sorry if I offend people, but I absolutely hated this. Another Ghost Rider, because I hated his rendition of Ghost Rider because I love Ghost Rider so much, and he completely laid an egg on that one, in my opinion. But I'm giving it a try. I'm going to stick with it. I only got 4 left. I don't know if they're going to do another season or not, but I'm still in it. I'm going to finish it.
Only person to play a rebooted character. Because Spirit of Vengeance is technically a Ghost Rider reboot, and he got to play Ghost Rider again in that one.
Yeah. You know, I loved the first one so much, I never saw the second one. Is it any better?
I didn't love the first one, but I did like it, and I'm a sucker for Eva Mendes.
Oh yeah, Eva Menendez. Yeah,
yeah. There you go.
Absolutely, she's great. Honestly, Nicolas Cage wasn't most of my problem with that movie. It was the guy that they had playing Satan's son. I thought he was terrible.
Oh goodness, I always forget this dude's name. He's on Yellowstone. Sean and I
never saw Yellowstone.
Is it one of the sons?
Yeah, it's Jamie.
Oh, Wes Bentley.
There you go. Yeah, Wes Bentley. I loved. What was it? Peter Fonda is Satan.
Yeah, and he does great. Yeah. He was great in it. Nicolas Cage was okay, but he was still Nicolas Cage, and I don't know. You know how sometimes you can watch a movie that has somebody in it that you've seen 1,000 times, but you forget it's them, and you start seeing the character?
Art Strong.
I can't do that with Nicolas Cage because he's always Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those. Actually, it's still John Travolta. They never switch back.
Oh, that's right. I'll be damned. You're right. Yeah.
I never watched the second Ghost Rider. I just knew about it. I never watched it though.
Yeah, Dwayne the Rock Johnson is the biggest person I can think of. He's the Rock no matter what he does.
Yep. And he wasn't like I liked Black Adam, but it wasn't because of him really. It was because of the team. Like the folks that were with him. Pierce Brosnan as freaking Dr. Fate
stole that movie.
Oh my, what that was the suit, everything. Aldous Hodge as Hawkman, fantastic.
Like, you know what's funny is I've never been a fan of The Rock. I didn't like him in WWE. Never cared for him in Scorpion King or any of those other things he was in. And I've never been a fan of Jack Black. I think he's one of those people who tries too hard to be funny. But some of his movies click with me. And yet, I absolutely love those new Jumanjis.
Yes. Dude.
I don't like either one of those people as actors, but those movies are great. I laughed my butt off in both of them.
I saw that trailer in the theater before some movie. I can't remember what it was. And I was like, I love the original Jumanji. I just wasn't wanting a remake, and friends ended up talking me into watching it. I'm so glad I did. I enjoyed that movie so much.
That's another odd piece to the puzzle. Is I watched the original one with Robin Williams, and I thought it was the dumbest movie I'd ever seen. I didn't like it at all. So not only did I not like the franchise and the two main stars, but I loved the movie, and I don't know why. But something about those movies, I don't know if it's their chemistry or if it's the writer or whatever, but they just got to me, and I really like both of them.
It was
Hoping
Carrie
there's going to be a third.
There is.
Oh, cool.
I can't remember what they titled it, but I was like, oh, that's a cool title. And yeah, Corey, We Own the Night on repeat. Hell yeah. That and Wolf of Wall Street. I've never seen either one of those movies.
What is going on tonight? I don't even know what that is.
I want to say it's a Ben Affleck movie, but I can't remember if he's in it or if he just directed it.
Wolf of Wall Street?
No. We Own the Night.
Oh, my bad.
Ed fell for the smolder. Dr. Smolder Bravestone. So up next, before we get to some books we read this week, I wanted to show off some set photos from Man of Tomorrow.
The first time I saw these, I thought Buzz Lightyear.
Everybody did.
Did they?
That was everyone's go-to.
Oh, that's funny.
To knock out. Yeah. Ooh, that's right. I've seen that scene, just not the whole movie, Corey. They're not wrong, but at the same time, I'm like, look, y'all, it's Lex in a power suit. Okay? It's gonna look cartoony. It's gonna look like when I saw it in the comics, I thought he looked like Buzz Lightyear. Just in green and purple.
You're not wrong.
So for me, it's not like I'm knocking on it. That to me just tells me how accurate the costume is.
But you know, Superman and Lois did the costume great.
Theirs was a great. Steel's suit was great in that too. Then we got some battle damage. Superman. We got one where he's in the harness, and I guess he has a weapon that Lex had.
And if you hated the collar
the
from
new
the
suit.
first movie, you really don't like this one, do you?
No.
Yeah, they
Don't hate me, Jay, but I actually dig it.
No, it's just not for me.
I'm not a big fan of the collar, but the rest of the suit, I'm liking the changes.
Me too. I like the more defined belt. I like that they got a more tight fitting, so it looks less like pajamas. And it looks like they might have made it out of some kind of a different material than just cloth, because it's got like a shine to it.
Lose the collar and you might have me. The collar is what kills it. I do not like the collar at all. The collar bothers me.
Give us what is the suit that I really like?
Was it?
It's the whatever came right after New 52.
Oh goodness, Rebirth.
Yes, the Rebirth suit.
Yeah.
At least give me that collar line, and I'm good to go.
Yeah, like again, it's a personal thing for me. I don't like the suit. That doesn't mean anything about the movie to me, because I love the Superman movie. I just until he gets a completely overhauled suit, I'm just not gonna like the suit. But
it kind of looks like they're having his hair a bit longer in this one too.
I'm hoping we get to mullet Superman eventually. That's my big goal.
That needs to never happen.
Oh, I can't wait. I hope it does.
As long as he's in the black suit when he does it.
Is he going to fight a giant spider too and talk like Nicolas Cage?
If you've never seen the documentary, folks, The Death of Superman Lives, you really need to. It's so interesting. It's so good. So this last one shows one of the two things I actually do like about the suit. I like the boots, and I like the back of the cape. But here's another shot of Lex holding the weapon that's going to have, obviously it's a stand-in until they get the CGI on it. But I like the fact that he's not wearing pajamas. It's not Lex is in a pair of gray pajamas with a bunch of sensors. And I know there's going to be CGI added probably on top of the suit, but I love the fact they're trying to go practical.
Some way, somehow, if what you say is true, James Gunn has got to find a way to slip in Infinity and Beyond somewhere in that script. Just as a ha-ha to people who are poking fun at it. He's got to.
If James was directing this movie, I could see him doing that.
Did they get a different director for this one?
Gunn's not doing it.
I thought this wasn't a gun movie.
Man, this is Man of Tomorrow.
This is Man of Tomorrow. It's Superman 2. This isn't from Supergirl.
Yeah, it is. What I
This
thought.
is from Supergirl? I don't think so.
These
I
are
think
Man of
Yeah,
Man of
this
Tomorrow
is
clips I
Superman
picked up.
2. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, if they're labeled wrong and it isn't Supergirl, awesome. But from what
No.
I saw, these are all Man of
Everything
Man of
that I've
things.
seen and read is
Oh,
says
yeah,
it's from
okay.
Superman. Yeah.
Oh shit.
I honestly
yeah.
think that
Okay,
little
my
bit.
bad.
I actually think that little bit scene that I made a short out of for the Weird Dopes channel is all we're going to see Superman in that movie. I don't think he's going to be in it much more than that opening.
And for me, I'm glad.
But you know what? Instead of an opening, that might be the way they end the movie, or it could even be a post-credit scene. Because if the whole movie is her out being a drunken goober or whatever, then maybe her crash landing and finding Kal-El is how that movie ends. I don't know.
I hope so too, Corey. I hope so too. I hope this one's a little more exciting for you. And I would agree with you, Ed, if it weren't for the fact that Crypto is still a puppy. Like Crypto
Why?
is noticeably smaller.
But have you seen him in the Supergirl movie? Is he any older, or is he still a puppy?
In the
He-
flashback scenes, he's a puppy, but they show him.
Okay.
Peeing on the newspaper in the very first
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I have a feeling she's going to be like, so you're probably wondering how I got here.
Record scratch and all.
Yeah. So, and then that's, they'll show that and everything.
But
Well, that'll
you
be
know,
interesting to see how she goes from Earth to wherever she ends up then.
yeah. And I've also said that I don't want Superman to be in the movie that much either, because I'd rather them not. I don't want people to have the excuse of, well, the only reason anybody went to see this movie is because Superman and Lobo was in it. I don't want that. I don't want that to happen. It's already going to happen. We know that, but I just put him in there for a couple of scenes. The one where he finds her, the one where he calls her and says that he calls her on the space phone or whatever the hell it was. But I don't want him to be the focal point. I want Supergirl to be the focal point of this movie.
And I want the actress playing Supergirl to shut her damn mouth before she ruins it for everybody.
Yeah.
Because she really turned me off with the comments that she made.
Yeah.
You don't say that this movie isn't for men, especially dads. What the hell does that mean? You just lost half your audience. Shut up and just act.
Yeah.
I hate it when actors and actresses do that kind of crap.
There's been plenty of them too that have said, well, this movie isn't for you, but I'm going to go see it anyway. I don't care.
I know, but what a great way to sell your movie by telling half of the population, don't go see my movie. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
You're trying to ostracize them, and you're turning people off on a product that people already are trying to find reasons to hate because it's Gunn.
Yeah.
You just need to shut up and act.
Yep.
Every actor needs to learn that. Shut up and act. You're not a preacher. You're not a politician. Shut your pie hole. Do your job.
Got enough going against it. It doesn't need
right.
any help.
Because there's going to be people who aren't like you and I and are going to say F her for that and not see it for that reason. Whereas I can take the actress or the actor, no matter what they've done in the past, and focus more on the movie. I still get hate for still saying that I love Kevin Spacey after everything that turned out. Every one of his movies, he's awesome in. Sorry, I love him as an actor. Doesn't mean I condone whatever he did or didn't do in his personal life. I could not give two hoots less what he did or didn't do in his personal life. That doesn't affect the movie for me.
Right.
But I just wish, I thought we were finally getting to a point where Hollywood was getting smarter. Just shut up and do your job.
Yeah.
Don't tell half the people not to come. What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And I
Especially
don't know her from anything else.
Yeah,
So-
especially when you have people like that aren't women or little girls championing this and wanting to be, you know, and yeah, he is top. And Kevin Spacey is top 5 for me as well. There's
I
his
can't see
Lex.
chat. I have a feeling I'm missing something.
Oh well, I don't have it on the screen either.
Yeah, I know, but you're having a conversation, I think, with Corey.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, Corey. I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, dang. What is that called?
K-Pax?
K-Pax. I love that movie. That movie is one of my favorite movies that no one knows about.
It's sad that
it.
I guessed it from one letter.
I loved him as Lex. People hated on him for his Lex.
Oh,
But I loved him. I thought he was fine. You know, I just wish he wasn't obsessed with real estate like Dan always says.
Land.
But I've never seen Kevin in a movie that I didn't like.
yeah.
And that's not condoning whatever he does off. I don't care. I just love his movies.
Yeah. So, again, I'm excited for what's coming. There has been some stuff that I've been less than thrilled about. Again, Creature Commandos, I liked it. I don't ever have to watch it again. Peacemaker, I've watched the first season at least 3 times now. So, I mean, there's stuff that I like. The whole universe, folks, there's going to be different tones. There's Superman might not be for you, but maybe the Clayface movie being a body horror movie, you'll be like, this is the best movie they've done. So I think having the different tones, my only complaint that I've had so far is it feels like all the TV stuff, unless it's superly aimed at kids, like My Adventures with Superman or the upcoming My Adventures with Green Lantern, all the TV stuff is all MA. And I'm kind of wanting them to break away from. Again, I'm not a prude, y'all have heard my wife go on sailor, periwinkle blue language freaking rants. But man, it's just like sometimes it's like, okay, we got on to Zack Snyder for being edgelord, saying fuck every other word to me is kind of treading that edgelord territory. You know, not everything has to be emphasized with an F-bomb, you know?
Right.
And again, it's not like I don't say the stuff myself, but trying to watch like Mr. Miracle, I'm excited for that, but it's also TVMA. It's like, well, when you do that all the time, it kind of takes the meaning out of it. Like, right. I think the coolest thing about the MCU, and of course it was Gunn that did it, and people hate on it, but the first time a PG, not only just because it's PG-13, but because it's a Disney Marvel property, the first F-bomb ever was in Guardians 3. But it was organic. It felt like something it wasn't forced at all. And
I still hated it, though.
I laughed at it. I thought that one F-bomb, I was like, I was good with, because they didn't carry it on after that. It was just the one in that movie. Of course,
yeah, but do you need to have one in a movie that kids are going to go see? Come on. It's just ridiculous.
I know, but that's just how it's going to be from now on, though, it feels like.
And that makes me sad.
Yeah.
It does. I get made fun of a lot because I refuse to watch the Deadpool movie. But we've already been down this road. I ain't going down there again.
Yeah.
I just, I feel, what are they going to do when they're aiming all of these shows and everything towards adults like us? How are you going to get today's kids hooked into comics? You got to make stuff family friendly so that a family can go see it.
Well, I agree with you. I agree with you 100% on that. Just like I said, when I was a kid, and it was up to my parents, and it's up to up to the kids' parents, obviously, what they get to watch. My parents knew I wasn't going to repeat anything, so I was watching the same stuff they were.
Yeah.
Like, but again, I agree on the fact that we need to have more than just 2 shows that younger kids can watch. So yeah, I agree with you there. Now, switching gears from movies and stuff. Hopefully, I grabbed the right one, but Sean's up first. We're gonna talk about some comics we've read. Starting with this one. Is that the right cover?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. This is not going to be a glowing review, but it's not going to be I'm not going to crap all over this thing. Essentially, what this is it's not really a reboot. This takes place, I think it's like 10, maybe 15 years at the most. I forget the exact time. It's between 10 and 15 years after that whole original group of Power Rangers had gone on. They're adults and this and that. And there is a new thread that comes back, and it's Rita, but it's not Repulsa. They call her I think it's Rabiola or Rabiosa or something like that. No idea who she is yet, because all they do is kind of show you a photo. There's a panel of her like in the beginning of the book, and that's really all you get. But this book is basically getting them all back together, and they're going to be Power Rangers again. Obviously, you can see they did like a redesign on the suit, which I like how the suits look. The art was really, really good in the book. But like with a lot of Power Ranger stuff, for me, the story still feels a little flat. But I'm going to give this one a couple more issues. Now I'm hungry for ravioli. Thanks, Corey. But I'm going to give this a couple more issues to maybe let it get more into a story. A lot of times in the past with the Power Ranger stuff, I wouldn't get past the first issue because a lot of it would just be so that I wouldn't get into it. And yet people still talk a lot about how great some of those series were. So I'm going to try to give this one a couple more issues. If you're a Power Rangers comic fan, give it a shot. I think you might find it intriguing. But yeah, it's one of those. What is your grading system, Jay?
I have it written down somewhere, but there's hashtag not that bad, dope, traded up,
Okay.
stuff like that.
All right. Well, we're going to go with not that bad because, like I said, it's not a terrible comic. I think it's just one of those things where I want the story to expand a little more in the next couple of issues to see what's going on. They did end it on a cliffhanger because if you notice on the cover, there is one extremely popular Ranger missing from this group, and I think the next issue is going to explore why. So we'll see what
Billy's
happens.
there.
That Mr. Ranger from Yogi?
What's up?
I said Mr. Ranger, sir, from Yogi.
But
Oh, Mr. Ranger, sir.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, it's a hashtag not that bad.
All right. Like I said, I needed to get with Phable. Phable suggested a Power Rangers run for me to read that he said was fantastic. It's an older run, but I need to get with him and ask him about that. So next up, I believe, is me. Yes, it is. Barbaric: The Long Death #3. So I'm not 100% sure how long this one's supposed to be. But how a book that has 9 different series, I counted them. There's 9 different series in the Barbaric little world here. And the series still wows me. Just goes to show how awesome this book is. Characters from almost all the series show up in this one. And we got Toro, who I don't see him you kind of see him mixed up at the top underneath the R, the second R in Barbaric. He's like a little goat dude. Yeah. He's a goat looking dude who he wrecks shop. This dude loves ultra violence. There's these creatures in there that really remind me of the aliens from Pitch Black, and he tears them up. And at one point in the book, somebody's like, "Dude, are you almost done? Because it's been dead for a while." Like he's just super into killing things.
That's what she said.
Yeah. So we have him trying to get his memories back. That's been kind of the whole kind of through line of this story so far, because he remembers why Owen is cursed and why axe is the weapons that he uses. He knows why Owen is cursed. So in this issue, we get the kind of the resolution, because I've always wondered, this talking axe and these talking weapons, where did they come from? Well, you pretty much find out in this book. Now, still don't know the reason behind Owen's curse just yet, and that's been something I've been wondering for a long time. It's the curse is if someone asks him for help, he has to help. He can't deny them. So you got this foul-mouthed barbarian, along with a foul-mouthed axe that gets drunk drinking blood. Axe is one of my favorite characters out of all of them. You get a huge battle. There's a ton of one-liners, and there's also a major character death in the end of this issue. Now, I haven't read every single issue in the entirety of the series, right? But I've read at least 2 or 3 of each, because we covered a lot of this on In Stores This Week back in the day. I eventually want to sit down and just go through the entire thing, because I am a humongous fan of this series. I love these books. For those who haven't read this or Babs is another good one. That's from Ahoy. If you're into barbarians, brutality, witty banter, give Barbaric and Babs a shot. I'm not big into like Conan or Red Sonja, but for me, Owen and Babs are nice little replacements. Babs literally reminds me of just a raven-haired Red Sonja. She's got a bad attitude. The books are a little anachronistic with things. Like, don't expect a lot of ye old talk in these books. It's kind of more modern talk, mixed in with some old English kind of things. But this series is a ton of fun. This and Babs. This one's from Vault. Babs is from Ahoy, like I said. And Babs is written by Garth Ennis. So if you're a fan of Garth Ennis's work, Babs is definitely one to have on your radar. This one right here, though, ever since the first issue dropped, I've been a fan of it. It's one of the first comics I bought from Miss Jen on her show. She was doing a Wednesday walk around, and she was our local comic shop for a long time. She was doing a Wednesday walk around. She showed a cover, and a mind link between Jenna and I. Jenna had already grabbed, not the cover that I got, but she had also grabbed issue 1. So we have 2 different issue 1s, but I've been a fan of this series. There's the big talks about Netflix doing a show with Sir Patrick Stewart voicing the Axe. I can't wait. This is one of those, though, that this is not intended for kids. This is just a guilty but not so guilty pleasure of mine. So check out Barbaric from Vault. Check out any of the 9 different series that are in this Barbaric world. It's a good time. All right, tell me about this one, Ed.
Oh, Red Impulse. I like it, but I've come to, and I should have known this going in, and I'm getting over it slowly. But I've kind of accepted the fact that we're not going to get the Gatchaman people in this series, that this is going to be just based on the Red Impulse crew, which, if you're a Gatchaman fan, it's Ken's dad. If you're a Battle of the Planets fan, it was Mark's dad. It's the same character. It's just the U.S. changed their names from Ken to Mark. But this one picks up where the last one left off. Ken's dad, his name is Kentaro, is trying to get to Galactor's secret facility, and he calls in a partner from Red Impulse whose name is Masaki, and the two of them are going to go try to take this base out by dressing up like the Galactor's security captains. If you're familiar with the cartoon, that would be the guys that always dressed in green when they were fighting them on ships and stuff. And the plan is they want to break into the research facility to steal an experimental power source. But of course, it doesn't go as planned, and things spiral out of control, and crisis ensues like always does in a good story. So these guys are like pushed to their limits, and they have to rely on like their raw instinct and their trust in each other, and basically just stubborn determination to survive. And there's a lot of action in it. There's some tension, believe it or not. There's actually some tense scenes in there, tense situations. It's really good. It's just it's not going to have, it doesn't look like it's going to have any of the Gatchaman crew in it, which I'm a little bummed about, but I should have known by the title that it wasn't gonna. But at least in the first episode, Ken was in it with his dad for like the first half. So I was hoping maybe, and who knows? I don't know if this is going to be an ongoing or if it's going to be a 4 or what. I haven't looked into it. Down the road, maybe we will get the Gatchaman come in to save the day. But if you're looking for a Battle of the Planets Gatchaman type book where with those characters, this isn't for you. But if you want to learn more about Ken or Mark's dad and what his crew of Red Impulse are all about, pick it up, give it a try. I mean, it's a good story. It's got good action. The art inside is right out of the cartoon. I mean, it looks exactly the same. So I like this one. It's better than a hashtag not that bad, but it's not a must read either. So whatever's in between those. I'm gonna keep going with it.
All right. So real quick before I get to the next one, because y'all both read this next one. Gotcha, man. Is it called something else as well?
Battle of the Planets.
Okay.
That was what the U.S. turned it into when they bastardized it by adding that ridiculous, stupid robot 7 Dark 7 to it.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
But Gatchaman was actually a pretty intense and serious anime cartoon back in the day before I even knew what the word anime meant. But I could tell as a kid that this cartoon was different because it had stuff in it that other cartoons didn't. And even as a kid, I can remember hating that stupid robot. Like, why did they show that stupid robot? I'm so sick of him. Well, in the original Japanese rendition, there isn't one. That was something America did because America's always got to add some stupid, dumb, happy, retarded, dumb freaking character like 7 Zark 7 and Godzuki. And I can keep going because they do it in every one of them. It's like, why do they always got to have it? Like the dumb monkey in the Super Friends. Like, why? Why? I don't understand. But even as a kid, I hated those things. So I'm not saying this as from a year-old man. I'm saying this that even as a kid, I hated those things. And now that I've learned that they weren't originally part of it, it made sense how they made no sense being in the show in the first place. Because nothing they did went along with the episodes. But anyways, yeah, it was called Battle of the Planets. Huge fan. You couldn't get me up in time to get on the bus, but you could get me up at 5:30 to watch Battle of the Planets. That wasn't a problem. I used to draw. One of the first things I ever drew was the Phoenix, and that's their ship, their plane, jet, whatever you want to call it. And that's when I knew I was going to get into drawing. But yeah, I love Battle of the Planets.
So like I said, this next one, you and Sean both read. I've heard it. Miss Jen reviewed it on the show this past Tuesday. I felt it. It kind of felt a little like Savager, So if we don't ever get issue 3 of Savager from Panic, I'm probably going to hop on this one. But it's only the Savager left. And John, why don't you take this one? Give Ed a break.
At a break. Decent first issue. Actually, my mind's going blank. I know I read it. My mind's going a little blank on the comic itself. So, it is similar to Savager in the sense that some kind of virus came and like took over humans and turned them into just savage people. And apparently, the only way that you can, it's not really a spoiler because they tell you this within like the first 2 or 3 pages of the whole book, but apparently the only way that you can like cure it or something with yourself is if you kill another one that is infected. But the book itself centers around a kid who's basically never like had a violent, really doesn't even have violent thoughts. He's never been a part of violence. He's just kind of just a pure-hearted soul. And a girl that he was really into as a kid, and they meet up again after some years in this book. The art is definitely solid. There are a couple of questions I have, and maybe it's just because for a couple of things it makes sense to me, but hopefully Ed will help talk me through it. But apparently you don't always become fully infected. You don't fully turn over into, I'll just call them zombies, but to whatever they are. You can get later, Corey. Appreciate you coming, brother.
See you, Corey. Have a good one, man.
But there are some people that apparently like have certain things that that from them that you can get, but you're still basically a human, and you're not just a savage basically. But yeah, I mean it was a good book, decently paced, good art. Just kind of curious, this is one of those in between like hashtag not that bad and then like must read type things for me. I just want to get a little more out of the story on it, but yeah, maybe Ed liked it more than I did.
Oh no. I can tell you liked it way more than I did. To me, this book is nothing but a complete and total rewrite of The Walking Dead. With the only caveat is that they have a cure for the thing. There's this Terata virus or Terata virus or however they pronounce it that turns people into like these yellow skinned with like protruding bubbles and warts all over them, covered monster type things. And the main guy in the book's name is Ryder. And at the beginning of the story, it's kind of like the Fear the Walking Dead, where you're watching the thing happen, and then him and his mom like get away, and they want to go and just get away from all the hassle. And then it jumps ahead like 5 years, and they're living in this fortified settlement where they're safe from the infected. Sound familiar at all? But and then he had a girlfriend. Her name was Oakland, and he got separated from her when they took off for the 5 years. So one day, her and her dad show up outside of the city or whatever you want to call it, the fortified settlement, and Ryder's shocked to see her again, and she's got her dad who's been injured. So she's reunited with Ryder, and then we take a flashback to how they were sweethearts in high school or whatever. But then you get a little twist because her dad had been injured, and in order to save him, they got to have antibiotics, and they don't have any in the settlement. So Oakland takes off on her own and tells Ryder to just stay here because he's not used to living out there, because she had been living out there on her own with her dad for like 5 years, I think it was, and surviving. So she knows how to survive.
It's because
So she left.
but it's because she got pissed, right? Because nobody would do anything.
Right. Yep. Yeah, she was really pissed. So she leaves to go and get it, and Ryder's like, fine, I'll let her go. And he waits like, I think it was 2 or 3 days, and then after that he can't take it anymore, and he decides to go out and try to find her, which he has no survivor skills whatsoever, and he almost ends up dead. Except, surprise, he gets saved by Oakland's dad, who is turning into a monster and now has a monster's hand.
Yeah.
And that's where they left it.
Right.
But it's so similar to The Walking Dead that I'm going to give it a few issues, but I hope it takes its own thing and doesn't keep, because really the only difference that I've seen so far is that they have a cure. And the monsters can talk until they get like super monsterfied or whatever you want to call it. But when they're first infected and they're first a zombie, they're able to talk, they're able to think, and then they just keep warping more and more into this monstrosity. And the one thing that I think is really cool is that when Oakland's dad saves them and reveals that he has the monster's hand, that makes me kind of wonder, in this world, who's really the monster? Is it the people who are killing people to try to cure themselves? Is it the monsters themselves? But even that was a little twist on The Walking Dead, because when you're reading the Walking Dead series, you find out that The Walking Dead has nothing to do with the zombies, that The Walking Dead was actually Rick's group of survivors, because they're all infected. Someday they're all going to die, but right now they're alive and walking and trying to survive. So they really were The Walking Dead. So it's even a similar twist. But if you like The Walking Dead, you'll probably like this one. The art in this one is great. The colors are great, whereas The Walking Dead was black and white. And the graphics always left a little bit to be desired, but it was still good. I love The Walking Dead series, don't get me wrong. But I'm going to give this one another issue or two, but it's basically The Walking Dead with a twist, but then even one of their twists is the same as The Walking Dead twist. So it's a hashtag not that bad minus for me, but we'll see if I like issue 2 better.
Hey, real fast, I wanted to say this because I didn't say this about when we were talking earlier, because I had forgotten until somebody reminded me a while back that the Walking Dead stuff was in black and white.
Uh-huh.
And we redid them in color with the deluxe editions, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
But they're only on like 102 or 103 on that one.
Right.
I'm hoping they do a deluxe omnibus or something.
Right. The thing that I like most about Spider Noir, not even watching it, I love the fact that they dropped all the episodes at once. Because I know that there's a lot of people that want that water cooler talk, stuff like that. For me, don't have time for that. Drop them all at once, because most of the time, if I'm going to watch them, we're going to watch it all at once, right? I love the fact that they dropped it both in black and white and in color.
I turn it down a little.
There are people that have also said that they have watched it either all in color and then watched it all black and white, or vice versa. Or there are some people that are watching it like 3 episodes in black and white, 2 in color, and they flip-flopping back and forth. So I love the fact that there's that option. It's not only that they dropped all the episodes at one time. I love the fact that they have that option where you can either watch it in black or white. So I wanted to say that earlier about Spider Noir, and I totally forgot. So
yeah, it is nice that they have that option, because without it, I'd have no clue.
Yeah.
But I'm like less than 1% of the population, so I don't expect them to try to appease to me, but it's nice to give the option.
Well, 2 important people in my life can't see that, so I'm grateful that they've done that.
Oh, me too. Believe me, I am. But at the same time, I don't expect it. But it's nice that they did that. But
So-
when I loved black and white movies, because They had that was what was the best about the Universal Monsters was the creepy factor, because they had the shadowing down that you lose when you colorize.
Yeah.
And the shadowing can be just as creepy as the thing itself if you do it right. And Universal did it right. But yeah, I love that they have that option.
All right, so the next one, Exquisite Corpses, number 13. What an ending! When I first started reading this, I had no idea what was going to happen, or I had an idea. Not I had no idea. I had an idea what was going to happen, but turns out no, I did not. Some people might get this reference, some might not, but I thought I was, but the book said I am. There's probably Sean might be the only person that gets that reference. But for those who haven't read any of this story yet, so the basic synopsis is every 5 years on Halloween, the wealthiest families in America play a game. Now it says there's 13 families, right? There's 13 families, but they pick 12 of the deadliest people in the world, and they're dropped into a small town. They pick a town, they pay off a lot of the officials, they close it off, and there's one goal, that the last killer standing wins. Now, what it is, they pick a killer, they pick a weapon. So it's like Massachusetts or something has the clown, and the clown's card is like the rope or the gun or something like that. Whoever wins, whoever killer is left standing, that family gets to rule the world for the next 5 years until the next Halloween, until the next tournament. So for the citizens of this small town in, I think it's called Oak Valley, Maine, the goal is a lot simpler. They just need to survive. So no one is safe in this. Like, it's not just the killers. If you get in the killer's way, the killers are going to kill you. And some of the unlucky town folk get caught in traps meant for other killers. And there's some gnarly kills in this. There's some gnarly stuff in here. Like, somebody loses a limb, they're in the book for a little while, and then they get taken out completely. There's a lot of people that suffer, get hideous. Like, it's a wild book. It's a Tynan book, though. So if you're a fan of James Tynan the Fourth, this will be right up your alley. This story has ended, right? It was only the 13 issues that ended, but they're about to do a bunch of one-shots on the killers, and I believe they're starting with a character called Rascal Randy, who is a killer in a mascot costume. They had one that it was the Fox Mask Killer, which was one of the most popular ones. There was a dude killed within like the first 10 minutes of the movie. I was gonna say movie, like the first couple pages of the book. Like as soon as they're dropped off. Again, I thought I had an idea. They had this one character, which is Fox Mask. That's the most popular character. They had this one character, and I was like, this is what's going to happen. Nope. And I'm not going to spoil it, and that's not a spoiler because you have to read the book to see what happens. You have to read it. Because you start this thing thinking one way, then in the next issue you're thinking another, and then you're back to your original thought. Like, it's a thinking comic if you make it into a thinking comic, which is kind of like every comic, right? But this series, we got to talk to Michael Walsh on the FOC show when they were fixing to start this, and I was excited for this then. So this is one of those books that got super hyped up, and I was super hyped about, that for me lived up to that hype. And the fact that I could not guess the story was like the best part. So Exquisite Corpses, folks, I know that a lot of people in the comic industry don't like when people say this, but I'm going to say it about this. I would love for this to be a series. Even knowing what happens, I would love for this to be a 13-episode series. This is so good. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought you were done.
No, go ahead.
What is with the title of the book? What are the exquisite corpses they're talking about?
No clue.
Oh, okay. I assumed it was a zombie book.
No.
But yeah, listening to what you're saying, it kind of sounds like the Condemned meets the Purge in some kind of a weird way.
Mixed with Hunger Games, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like it's a different blend of a bunch
So
of
there's
stuff.
no zombies in this.
No, there's no zombies.
So what is the dude right over his gun?
Okay.
Because it looks like all his skin's gone.
He's a character called the Congregation.
Okay.
And what it is he's a serial killer that skins his victims
And then wears them.
and then makes a patchwork suit out of the skins.
Cool. It rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again.
Yes, that's exactly how that character feels. So you have like a nose or something on his shoulder, or like a face.
Nice.
Yeah, a face on one of his pecs. Like, yeah, he's a gnarly character. He's called the Congregation. So, Ed, I think this would. I mean, I don't want to say 1,000% it's an Ed book, but I think this would be a not too bad from you if you ever got to read this one. And like I said, Tynan has done some things that I've really enjoyed. He's done some things that I've kind of liked. Like I said, Something is Killing the Children. For me, the first 20 that I read of that book were pretty good. I kind of fell off that one. Just the rest of it just isn't for me. But this one, though, for me, this is a hit. Like, Tynan did a fantastic job with this book. So if you've never trying to think of the right word, though, because I don't want to say if you haven't given it a shot, you should give it a shot. If any of that sounds interesting and you want to find out like this M. Night Shyamalan drinking through a crazy straw twist of a story is really, this is so good. And it's action. There's not too much slow issues. Like every one of the issues has the action in it to kind of like gives you a little bit of story, but then here's some action, kind of feeds it to you in a good way. Like the pacing. That's what I'm trying to say. The pacing is very well done in these books. So again, folks, if either one of y'all reads them, or if anybody in the chat or watching on the rewind, if you already read them, tell me your thoughts. When you read them, if you read them, come back and let me know what you think, because I love being told either, hey man, this was really great, this was all right, or dude, this is the dumbest thing I've read. I love hearing all those opinions. So if you check it out, please let me know. I'm really curious to what folks think about this one. All right, up next we got a little threefer.
Oh yeah. This continues to be one of those books where I have no idea why I like it so much, but I like it. And to answer your question from a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, however long it's been since I did issue 1, because time goes by so damn fast, I can't keep track anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There are no words. They have continued that. There have been no words in any of these. So if you remember, the little face hugger was hatched in the first one, and he saw a picture of a couple, and he saw how they loved each other, and little heart things popped up over his head. And he went to find them, and when he found them, 2 other face huggers were already attached to him, and he climbs up and like sits on their head, and he's like cuddling with them when the xenomorphs rip out of their chest, and that horrifies him and scares him, and he runs away. So this one picks up right where that left off. The xenomorphs are running around, and the friendliest little face hugger can't figure out, what their deal is. And every time he finds a human, one of the xenomorphs kills it, which mortifies him. So he runs into this little girl. So he's going to try to be friends with the little girl, and he shines his little smile and his cute little eyes. And the little girl grabs a baseball bat, and she's trying to kill him because she thinks he's just a regular face hugger. So he runs like hell from her, and he runs into a guy who picks him up by the tail And for some reason, the guy, when he looks at him, could tell he wasn't like the other facehuggers. Why? I don't know, because there's no words in this book. But he does have a name on his shirt, which was convenient since they're not going to use words, and his name was Bill. So all of a sudden, the facehugger is like cuddling with Bill's arm, and Bill's like scratching his head like you would a puppy dog kind of thing. And the next thing you know, he ends up in one of those suits like Ripley was in. That's like a forklift type thing. And the xenomorphs attack, and that scares the little facehugger. So by probably just out of instinct, when he got scared, he like jumped on his face, Bill's face. So he thought, oh shit, I'm under attack. So while he's squishing these xenomorphs and their acid is slowly eating through the floor, he's trying to pull our friendly little facehugger off of him and kind of like is going to throw him because now he's thinking that he's trying to impregnate him. And as that happens, they fall through the floor, and, you know, poor Bill. That's all I can say about that. So our little facehugger has to move on, and he's scared to death of these xenomorphs, and he watches them kill a bunch of kids. And from there, I know it sounds really weird, and like I said, I don't know why I like this so much, but I do. So from there, he runs into this group of guys who have like formed a line like they did in Aliens, and they're just mowing down xenomorphs like crazy. And he's watching other facehuggers kill people, and he's just sitting by with his big happy eyes and his open mouth like he doesn't know what's going on. And, you know, he's just an innocent little friendly facehugger that nobody knows. So he finally finds this little boy that he wants to be friends with, and just as he's about to become friends with it, you know, kind of doesn't work out the way he wants, but he doesn't realize that the little boy just got the way he did. And he curls up on the back of the little boy's head, and he's smiling, and he falls asleep. And that was the end of issue 4. So it's a weird little story. It's a fun little story. I don't know why I like it, because normally I would think this is one of the stupidest things ever. But something about it just clicked with me. And not that it's a fantastic book by any means, but it's my pick of the week just because the other two were mediocre. And this one made me smile. So there's that.
These are now anybody watching this later is like, where do I find these? These are digital only ones, aren't they?
Yep, Marvel Infinity, you got to have that to read it. They're just digital exclusives.
Gotcha.
You can't as of right now, but it wouldn't surprise me if they released a. I don't know if people are reading it. That's not the right word because there's no words to read. But I don't know if people are looking at it on the app like I am, or if it's a total flop. But it wouldn't surprise me if they put a trade out of it when they're done, because I don't know how much longer they're going to go with it, and it's kind of hard to see, what the plot's going to be when there's no words. And so far, it's just been a little facehugger, like a Pink Panther cartoon. Huh. There's no words in it. He's just doing his stuff, and stuff happens around him, and he's an innocent, doesn't want to hurt anybody kind of thing. But everybody thinks he is because he's a facehugger.
Right.
It's something about it just clicks with me. I don't know what. I can't figure it out myself. So
ain't nothing wrong with that. So y'all will notice a little pattern here that I didn't do on purpose, but I just noticed it myself, and it's kind of funny. So the next ones were ones that Sean did. Now, I read 1 and 2 of this series. Sean has apparently read 2 and 3. So we're going from Ed's 3 books to these 2 books.
Yeah. So if we remember, I was kind of lukewarm on that first issue.
Right.
From the 3 months ago that I was last on the show. But this has really picked up into a very good story. Issue 2, where issue 1 felt a little weird and slow to me, issue 2 picked up and just went right into it, and it immediately became really interesting. Uh, Again, art is just it's fantastic. It works. Not gonna lie, dude. The creatures are very freaky.
Yeah.
I'm actually really kind of want to go watch the movies now
Oh, I love the movie.
because of reading this. Like I really genuinely do. Just because I want to see how the creatures are, in motion. But that aside, uh, it's just a solid issue. The whole second issue is just utter chaos. Our our main guy, and I apologize, I don't know names as well, but our main guy is trying to basically dredge, uh, use a dredger to basically knock out, I think, like a point of land that would allow them to come across onto their island. For anybody who doesn't know, this is based on a town in Pearl. It's Pearl, Mississippi. Basically, but they're kind of like on a little island in the middle of the river. And this guy's thought is they need to isolate themselves, like they need to blow up their bridge, they need to dredge off, any connection to the mainland because apparently these things can't swim. And that's basically what most of issue 2 is there's that chaos, and then there's everybody trying to move to like a safe area, I guess, where they have all the population. And it's the town, I believe that's the town mayor, if I remember correctly from the first issue, and the main character's daughter. She's trying to save her because she had, fell and got hurt and this and that. And he is in the meantime is on his dredger doing what he needs to do to get the stuff saved out. And of course, these things they're coming out of the woodworks. They totally take out a family in this. Like these people honk and get out of the car, and yeah, they were destroyed. The third issue it's a direct continuation, which is the greatest part. There's no like time hops. It's literally feels like the next panel. Issue 3, a lot of the same thing with a couple more flashbacks in it. But it ends on a nice little cliffhanger of he's on the bridge. He's got it wired up with dynamite with a remote in his hand. It totally swayed me from where I was on the first issue. Having a good time reading this now. Like I said, now I'm going to go back and eventually and watch the movies to see what this is going to be like. But the sad part is I have to find the list and remember what else I've read this week to tell you if this is my pick of the week or not, but this is definitely up there as to one of the favorites that I've read coming up to this show.
Dude, that's so awesome to hear because, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. This was one of those movies that when I found out John Krasinski had written it and was starring in it, I was like, I gotta watch it. The first one came out in 2018. Jenna and I watched it multiple times. Like, it's so freaking good. And it's such an eerie thing because since they have to be silent and one of the stars is actually deaf, it's sign language pretty much the whole movie. But it's so well done and it keeps the tension because there's hardly any dialogue. It keeps the tension. There's some scary freaking parts in it. Yeah, bro, whenever you're down to watch it, I will watch it again. I freaking love it. John Krasinski is amazing in it. The whole cast are just great. We've watched, her and I have watched all of them. Even the one that had, I think it was called Day One, the one with Joseph Quinn and Lupita Nyong'o, I believe that's how you say her name. Watched that one, loved it. Like all the Quiet Place movies, for me at least, have been super solid. So when I saw they were doing a comic, I really enjoyed the first issue. But again, I had watched all the movies. I know, I don't want to say lore, but I knew enough about it to where the first issue wasn't like a slow kind of drag to me. I totally agree with issue. I haven't read issue 3 yet, but I totally agree about issue 2 just being kind of like balls to the wall comparatively to the first issue, at least.
Yeah.
So, folks, check this out. You don't have to have watched any Quiet Place movie because this is kind of its own part of the world thing going on here. But yeah, check it out, man. Like, I can't. This wouldn't be my pick of the week, but it would definitely be in like the top things that I had read for that week when I read it. So yeah, great series, man. Great series. Now this next one, I think you and I both read. I only put the one issue up, but I'll go first with it. Red Roots. So
Yes.
this is a book I've been hearing a lot. I've been hearing a lot of talk about.
I did issue 1 of this one on your show.
You sure did. That's right. You read it. So we've all read this one.
Yep.
So this was another book that while reading it, I thought I had it figured out until the end. And then the second issue of this surprised me even more than the first did. What I thought was going to be two separate timelines kind of running. Or
Before you continue, because I've read so many books in the last month, this is the serial killer meets the school teacher, right? The
Not
school
a serial
teacher-
killer.
Well, okay, but that's the book I'm thinking of, right? And she finds a
Yes.
hand in the closet.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought this was going to be two separate timelines or lives there where the stories were just running concurrently, right? But this turned into something bizarre and awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really excited to see where this one goes. Like, we got a teacher that finds this head in her closet. We start the story with an assassin who's trying to get revenge for his, I guess, wife or lover or something like that was murdered by this dude. So he goes to this guy's compound and just takes out his people. And we kind of go back and forth with that. So I'm like, okay, it's, happening two different times. Well, he's killing these people, and this teacher comes home and finds a head in her closet. She freaks out. She calls, yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I felt, Lorena. She freaks out and calls the police, and the police come and check out her home, basically tell her, hey, we don't really know what's going on, so don't leave town, which she doesn't plan to. And her house is cleared, so she ends up going back. Then she finds a head on her couch. Then the heads start talking. And she thinks she's going crazy. And she calls her mother to apologize. But then we got the assassin story happening. And at the end of that issue, these stories merge in the weirdest way possible. Like, it was I read Basket Full of Heads not that long ago for the list book, and I was getting that vibe from this until the end of that first issue. And then when I read the second issue, it just got crazier. So this one for me kind of lived up to the hype people were giving me, because it's so strange from where you start the beginning of this book till you get to that end of the first issue. And the end of the first issue, I was like, what the hell is going on? I need more. And then I read issue 2 and I was like, still, what the hell is going on? But I need more. So
yeah. And number 2 just came out last week, Lorena.
Yeah.
I need to read number 2 and get caught up on it. But yeah, this is such a cool series. The funny thing is, I was completely lost as to what the heck was going on until the end of the first issue. Then I was like, oh, that's creepy. How is this going to work?
Yeah.
It looks like it's going to be a 5-issue series, and it's going to be one a month all the way through August, to answer your question, Lorena. And then the trade is going to come out at Thanksgiving.
Nice. But yeah, definitely this is if you're into those kind of weird, creepy slasher. I don't even know how you would classify it. It's not really a slasher.
I think it's going to stop the way it looks. It looks like it's going to stop, but
Yeah.
who knows? If the sales are good, it might keep going.
It's
Yeah.
super good.
It's
different.
It shocked me. Like, I went into it thinking it was going to be one thing, and then by the end of it, I was like, okay,
This
all right,
this
I'm in.
this issue is the most like what the F since the first Bigfoot Knows Karate. For me.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. It was. I didn't see the ending. Just got me. That's what
Yep.
it is. Like the ending was just so. It was just so random to me.
I think I would if I was you, right now.
Oh, and I agree with that. I might do one more issue. I might, but I'm the same way. I'll read one or two of something. If I really dig it, I'll wait and get the trade. And this one is probably going to be on my. If the next issue is anything like the first two, it is definitely going to be on my traded up. This would be my traded up pick.
Yeah.
Going from one. Got an image, actually. Going from one image to another. Sean, tell me about this one, because I hadn't even read the first one yet.
You haven't even read the still just it's a solid series, man. The kid and the dragon actually talks a little more in this one. So it's neat to see how that kind of comes together. But it's fantastic art. I'm still very curious as to what his whole power set is, because the kid himself is not a naturally violent person, but the dragon's like, you have to defend yourself. And there's a scene in here where they send some pretty neat looking powered individuals to come try and capture him and get the egg from him for I think it's the big bad who gets revealed in this, and the dude's like this huge looking Conan guy with except he's got blonde hair and a bunch of like blue scars, tattoos, or whatever all over his body. But he sends a group of guys after him, and they're having this fight scene, which is a nice bit of action throughout the book. But at one point, he completely does something, and it's like, I mean, it's like, imagine you're in a building and he just powers up and boom, and like he just does this giant explosion or big thing of fire. Is kind of what happens and reeks. So I'm wondering how powerful this thing really is. But then they add this whole little fun element of there's a detective now that saw the videotape from the first issue of when he was in one of his father's buildings before it either blew up or some people got killed in there. And so he's following him kind of closely. So there's going to be that little side element to the whole story. But this has been fun. And like I said, I know nothing about the Lost Fantasy world at all, but I'm enjoying the hell out of this book. If you want some spectacular images, you've got to read this.
Very cool. I think between you and the reviewers that we watch, E from 9 Panel Grid and Stu and all them talking about Lost Fantasy, I might end up starting this. It does look really cool.
Yeah, it's a super cool book visually. And the story's there. The story is there. It's definitely got a little bit of that air of ancient mystery to it, because you can tell whatever this is has been around for a long time.
This is also written by Franklin Jonas, the unknown Jonas brother. So this next one, Sean and I both read. I don't know if Ed's read this yet, but Superman, Father of Tomorrow. I'll go first with this one, dude. I don't have a whole lot to say. I've heard some complaints about the artwork, and I get that. The art didn't bother me. I love this freaking suit. I love this suit. Like the silver, white, and black. I freaking love it. This story was so interesting. It's an Elseworld story. So interesting. It shows you that pretty much in any reality, the main constant, the one thing that is constant, is that the Kents are good. And I love that. It's kind of like Darkseid is. There's only one Darkseid in the entire multiverse. Well, in the multiverse of DC Comics, the Kents are good people, and I freaking love that. This for a first issue, this wasn't like it blew me away by any means, but it was really good. I really enjoyed this. Seeing this, instead of it being Kal-El, it's Jor-El, and he's still taken in by the Kents and becomes an adopted member of the family. And you know, in a lot of versions of Superman, there's also another constant, unfortunately, and that's about Paul Kent. Now, there's been some TV shows like Lois and Clark, the New Adventures of Superman, and some of the Superman cartoons where Paul Kent is left alive. This one shows you that, like father, like son, though, when something happens to Paul Kent, Jor-El also shoulders the blame. You know, there's a quote from the Christopher Reeve Superman movie that I always love, and it's all these powers, and I still couldn't save him. That's probably not a verbatim quote, but that's the gist of what Clark says. All my powers, and I couldn't save him, and that's exactly how Jor-El is in this book. I thought this was a good story. I can't wait to see where they take this one. There's a Supergirl one that I want to read too, called I think Supergirl Survive. I love the fact that it feels like we're starting to get more Elseworld stuff, because as far as the movie universe is not aware. I forgot the word I was going to use. But as far as the movie universe, Elseworld only has the Batman in it right now. So I'm hoping we get some more stuff to go in that under that Elseworld banner for the movies. And like I said, if DC kind of does the route with, you know, their HBO Max, you know, the HBO Max being their kind of channel for their stuff, I would love to see some DC Presents and have stories like this as their 45-minute, you know, kind of mini movies like Marvel has done with the special presentations. This and For the Man Who Has Everything, I think would fit perfectly in there. Don't need a whole movie, don't need an entire series, but a nice little short kind of movie. I think this Elseworld stuff is like prime and perfect for that. So, Ed, did you get to read this yet?
Nope.
Okay. So Sean, what
I
were you?
didn't know I had homework.
No, you don't. I'm just in case you.
I'm just playing, dude.
Yeah. In case you did, I didn't want to just skip you.
No, we're good. Believe me, I'll butt in if I want.
Yeah, no, I echo everything Jay said. I don't know what the complaints on the art would be. I thought the book was fine art wise. I do like the suit when he finally donned it. It was dope. What I'm finding interesting, of course, is instead of getting a a Kal-El who has really no knowledge of his homeworld's, history, their tech and this and that, you get the polar opposite with this, with Jor-El, who's already a genius and knows what to do with all this tech. So that to me was the most fascinating part, especially when he decided after Paul Kent passing away that he needs to share his gifts with the world and try to be a hero. So I'm very curious to see how different of a Superman Jor-El is going to be versus Clark. Because he has all this knowledge and he has this knowledge. Like you can agree the fight scene with Metallo, not really a spoiler, was interesting because he was just so in control. Whereas Superman fights very kind of brutally and whimsically. He just seemed very in control of everything he was doing.
Yeah.
And it's just a fascinating character. or story, really. And a nice kind of way to see how Jor-El is and whatnot. And I'm glad they went the route of him being a hero and not like how some of these do, where they're like, no, really, your parents are actually evil, and this and that, like they tried to do in a couple things. Was just a really good feel good story, you know. So 100%. This to me is a must read for people who are Superman fans, and also just in general, just read something like a different take on Superman.
Yeah, I gotta say, I also love the fight scenes in this. There's two things. My one complaint about Smallville that I've always had is the minute Clark loses his powers, the boy can't fight. He gets his ass whipped every time. It takes him forever. A farm boy should, powers or not, should know how to fight. But anytime on Smallville Clark lost his powers, he couldn't fight to save his life. Now on the opposite end of that spectrum, when Tyler Hoechlin's Superman didn't have powers, that boy could still throw down. So I loved that they did that. So I loved also seeing granted he's grown up, so on Krypton they had their own fighting style, so it was probably something that he learned. But I love the fact that the fight scenes in this, while he's still powerful, you could tell he has some training. He's not just relying on just brute strength and those special abilities. He can he could fight if he didn't have the powers.
Your Smallville guy got his redemption in the Arrowverse because he caught Lex's punch. It was like, just because I'm not super doesn't mean I still can't whoop your butt. That's a great scene. That was a great scene.
It's one of 3 times I think in the entirety of him being Superman that he got to do something like that. Most of the time it was brutal. Like, oh, Clark lost his powers. Who's going to kick his ass this time?
Well, if you think about it, they always have kind of treated Superman like that, because even in the Superman versus Muhammad Ali film, powers as asked it.
That's true. But it's nice to see when they actually fight.
I loved nothing more than when Clark beat the hell out of Lex without any powers. That was just fantastic.
Yeah. So, next up on the list, Pretty Hate Machine number 2. Man, I don't have like a ton to say on this one either. While this wasn't as strong as issue 1, I still really dug it. And there's proof, because I had a theory when I read the first one that was such a tropey thing for me to think, but I thought when I read the first issue that this is all in the dude's head. Like, this dude has kind of done a Two-Face, fractured identity, something like that. But no, there's proof in this issue that the demon isn't just in his head. There are other people that can see him. So the demon is there. This thing is evil, and it's planting all these evil, like, little seeds of doubt. And this does feel like a setup issue, which is kind of weird for an issue 2. It does feel a little bit of setup, but there still is a very gruesome kill at the end of this. Like, people still die in this book. This is also a very quick read, like much like issue 1. Issue 1 was like lightning fast read for me, at least. It feels a bit short, but it felt like there's a little more action in the first issue. Like, this one is more letting you know what the demon is kind of about and why he's there, and he's still trying to convince this kid that his aunt and his mom had his dad killed, because you're starting to find out that his dad, the brakes in his car were cut. So this demon's trying to tell him that his uncle and his mom killed his dad so they could be together, and he's trying to plot some kind of revenge. And at the beginning of the book, you think that's what you're seeing is him killing them both, but it's actually the demon telling him like different plans. Like, one is a present that you open and they get acid, like it's like an acid bomb, Like it's very brutal. This is a very brutal book. I'm still liking this one. This one might eventually be a wait for the trade to read the whole thing at one time. Like I said, very strong opening issue, and I got another book I'm going to talk about real fast. This was a very strong opening issue, even though it was super quick. This one still strong. It was really the end of the book that really got me because now I want to see the repercussions of the killings that happened. Like these are gnarly kills in this book. Like if you've read the first issue of this, there's some gnarly stuff that happens in the first issue. It continues in this book, so it's not slowing down on the gore, but it's making me question things.
The demon's name is Luther too, isn't it?
I think so. That part I don't.
Perfect follow up to Superman.
Yeah, that's true. So again, one that I'm going to talk about real quick next is Dead Teenagers number 3. I really loved that first issue. Loved it. I was excited to see what happened because at the end of that first issue, the loop is broken and the kids are kind of thrown into modern time because they've been doing this for years and years and they're stuck in this loop. The problem is when you get to the adult part of it, while there is some kills, it's slower. It's like a grown-up, a book gets killed instead of how in the first issue they were showing you all the kids, like how they died all at once, and then it would reset, and they'd have to do it all over again. And there was different scenarios. It wasn't the same thing every time. There was all kinds of stuff, like a meteor hit the Earth, or aliens, or alligators, or this or that. Like there's all these different scenarios, but when you get to the adult part of it, it just like looks like random acts of violence against them. So since the adult versions aren't being taken out so quickly, I'm wondering if the loop is going to start again with them. Like if they all get taken out, will it start again with them as adults? Will it take them back to when they were kids and start the loop again? And then they got to figure it out from there? Or if they die as adults, are they just dead? Like issue 3, definitely not as strong as issue 1 in my opinion. But I'm going to keep reading it to see what happens. But again, I think the first issue, while it was cool that they did something I wasn't expecting by breaking the loop in the first issue, going back and seeing what some of the scenarios were, I kind of wish they would have maybe stuck doing that for a couple more issues before they let them break the loop. Because those were super interesting. Like seeing the kids get killed in various ways and in the same order they died every time was interesting to me. But the big question is, what broke the loop? Like, we know what breaks the loop if you've read this, but why did that happen out of all the other times? Why did that happen to break this loop? So again, I don't know if when they killed it as an adults, like they're waiting for the last adult to get killed and they get sucked back into the loop, what's going to happen? I think that's what's really driving me to keep reading this one. But I think the first issue so far is the strongest out of it. They may come back and surprise me, but I think the first issue of this was like the strongest out of the 3 issues so far.
Maybe they'll find Sam and rescue him.
Carry on, my wayward son.
I still hate how they ended Quantum Leap to this day.
Oh, that's Sam.
Yes.
Sam Beckett never made it home. He became Chuck's dad.
I hated that.
In Chuck. All right, so this next one I think was the next 2 are going to be Kickstarter ones. Tell me about this one, man. You've been raving about this for a while, Sean.
Yeah, well, and read about it more now that I finally read it. This book is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. But even reading the synopsis on the Kickstarter, I thought I had an idea of what I was going to get, and I really didn't. It's such a cool book. what you have is the main character here on screen. Kind of right in the beginning of the book, he is in therapy. Like he's doing. He's a cop. I'll put that there, but he's going through a hostage situation. He ends up saving a kid and this and that, and then it jumps to he's at marriage therapy with his wife. They're having a disagreement because she wants to have a kid. He's afraid to have a kid because of what he does for work and this and that. So they get done with that. They get into the car. And finally, for whatever reason, he has this huge change of heart. He says, "You know what? Screw it. Let's go ahead and let's do this." So you get your gratuitous love scene there for a page, but then they're filling up. Their next thing is they're filling up with gas, and he's talking to her this and that, and all of a sudden he turns around, and she's not there, and that becomes the whole mystery because nobody there was like there was nobody with you. The gas station clerk says nobody walked in here, and then he starts calling people like about my wife, and you learn that now all of a sudden she passed away 6 years prior in a car accident, but he remembers everything about her vividly, and he eventually goes to like this group therapy thing for people that apparently have this disease, and I forget what it's called, but the doctor recommends him to go to this for people that have experienced the same thing he does. One of the people in there starts saying, well, what if everything is true and everything else is all BS? And that's where the twist comes in, and you learned that she is actually a time traveler who was saved in the future by him because she is the key to some whole big thing for a huge corporation in their timeline that has basically just taken over and runs everything. So it's just this neat little twisty turny story, and it just one of the most gorgeous books that I've seen in a long time. And a lot of that has to do with one of these guys is like a video game designer and also a very serious artist. So it was a great read. This is actually probably my pick of the week, even over probably the next book we're going to talk about here in a minute. I love this. Ed, I don't know if it'll be your thing, but I can put it on the drive if you want to check this out. I've got issues 1 and 2. It's a long read, folks. These are probably, what is it? They're about 40 to 50 pages each per issue. I haven't read issue 2 yet, but I love this, and I'm 100% on board with where they're going with this. And need to read issue 2. I cannot wait.
Where did you learn about this one from?
So I learned this from friend of the channel and the live stream queen, Kpop. She had the team on promoting their Kickstarter one night, and I went in there because I hadn't been on watch one of her lives in a while, and good thing I was bored that night and decided to jump on, clicked the link, and I was like, yes, I'm gonna back this. And of course, Jay, remembering one of the ones from the past, and I've got the whole box set here, where I was like, well, this seems a little underwhelming when I got it. He's like, you sure you really want to do this? And I'm like, yes. And I'm glad I took that chance because, man, this was such a fun read. I feel like if this was in stores, that this book could do really well. And for anybody, Jay included, who is a hardcover nerd, the way they print these books is kind of in like it's not oversized, but it's a premium bound setting. Where everything looks like a small, like soft cover trade, but they do hardcovers of every issue. So if that's kind of if that's a niche you want to, or an itch you want to scratch, this is a series that you can do that with. But yeah,
so they're square bound issues.
Yes, I think it's an actual. It's weird how to put it. But man, I can't say enough things about this book. As I was reading it, I was like, this is just a really, really cool kind of story with some time traveling involved. So yeah, count me in, man. I'm definitely gonna back the next Kickstarter whenever they have another one.
Nice. I think I might jump on that train with you. So, the last book we have is y'all have watched me unbox this either live or you watched the unboxing video for it.
Before we do anything, real quick, heck cow.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. He can see me.
Ah, did it?
Yeah.
No, you
Anyway.
can't.
Anyway.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about this one.
This is the creepiest book you have never read, folks.
Oh, it's such. I read the damn PDF so many times before we actually got the stuff in, and then you always sent us those care packages. I read it again.
Yeah.
Dude,
And this is so good.
the team on it, for one, should tell you folks. We rave about this team the whole time. This is Joey's first time kind of writing a comic, though. He wrote it with Alan Dunford, Brian Bolando, Dave Lentz. You know that team. We talked about those guys. Dave checks in the mail. Joey Galvis. This is I Need Your Skin. Holy crap! Reading this thing, it's so hard to explain, but it's easy to explain at the same time, man. Woman goes to a fortune teller, I guess. I don't know exactly what the person is.
That's a good way to describe it. She goes to a fortune
Take care,
teller,
cop.
and also something I think, like she heard something about she can help keep her looking young or something like that. If I remember the gist of it with, so she goes there to see her, and it turns into this just eerie, like thing right throughout. You know, you can tell something's off and supernatural about it the moment you see the woman and everything, but when you go through this whole process with her and they do the cutting of the blood and this and that, and the demon that you're kind of seeing peek out here comes out, I thought when we were reading the thing, I was like, okay, that, you know, I'm like, how is this going to fit in? I honestly thought that was the creepiest part of the book when we got to read like the ash can. Wrong. The book just got creepier after.
Yeah.
She's out with a group of friends and all of a sudden starts hearing things, and then next thing you know, this whole weirdness starts happening, and it's just I've told Joey, we've both told Joey, it is literally just a creepy book in the absolute best way possible of that word.
Yeah, I mean, I'll spoil it just a little bit. She pictures herself eating her friends' faces.
There you go.
Like, she has these intrusive thoughts about eating her friends. And that scene when they're at lunch and that happens sticks in my brain. Like, it is, that image is burned of her just chewing on her friend's face.
Mm-hmm.
So the book, it's a quick, again, it feels like a really quick read. It probably isn't that short, but it feels quick. But man, it is, again, it's such a good book. Like I told Joey, I was like, dude, you and the team here freaking nailed it. I am still, I've read this book I don't even know how many times. And every time I'm like, ugh. Like I feel, you know, that weird chill you get up your spine. You're like, like almost like somebody's watching you do something bad.
See, and I think what helps with this, normally when we say a book is a little slow on the pacing, I don't like it. But I think the way they chose to purposely pace this book, like they did, aids in that just how things stick in your head with it. I think, at least for me, that's how I feel about it, because quick read, yes, but it didn't feel like we were going super far through a story. We just got two really creepy instances. So,
Yes.
and of course, Brian.
Brian's art.
Lost my sentence. That's why I'm saying his name so many times. This guy, when it comes to horror comics, slasher, and art, Brian is one of the absolute best in the world, in my opinion. If you want books like this, he's just got an eye for. And if you go look at his Instagram, and stuff like that. His personal art, he does horror very well.
Yep. I'm grabbing his Instagram link right now. And what's up, Triple B? Put Triple B's link in the chat there. Check him out.
But I mean, and honestly, I didn't think Alan had this kind of creepiness in him. But Alan definitely showed his range on this one.
That's saying something, because of some of the stuff that Alan's written, like Grandma Chainsaw.
Right, we know he can do that, but the fact that him working with Joey, he didn't do the comedic elements. He has a way of adding that little ha in the stuff that he does, and this was a very serious book in tone.
Yeah, there's a very thin line between horror and comedy, though.
That is very true, and I think that's a lot of the reason why a lot of comedic people do horror so well.
Yeah. So yeah, folks, we've shown this book off a lot. We've talked about this book a lot.
Worth the read.
It is 100% worth the read. When the campaign for number 2 comes around, you know for sure we're going to be pushing it, and there'll be a catch-up tier. So if it sounds like something you'd be interested in, make sure you hop on. So that's the last thing we got to talk about, review, all that other stuff. Now, last week, folks, we were having so much fun, and, well, so much stuff was kind of messed up. Slides weren't working. Apparently, it looks like everything that was supposed to show up on screen tonight showed up on screen. So hopefully that, whatever happened last week with the slide deck, doesn't happen again. But I didn't get to something. It's time, folks, to choose the next book from the list. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, folks. Whew. Can't wait. There's a lot of good ones on here. There's more. I only chose about 15, though, because I want to make sure that I didn't over bombard the wheel. But I got a lot of good suggestions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix up a little bit of shuffle a couple of times. Then we're going to spin the wheel and see what is going to be next. And as always, folks, if you can find the book that gets picked for the list and you want to either come on and talk about it or just talk about it in the chat, it's fine. Folks on the panel, if you ever want to read the list book with me so you can chime in, by all means, please do that. But here we go. Here's the first book off of this list. All right. Oh, the Demon. This is, of course, Etrigan, the Demon. This was suggested by YouTube user EJL, who commented on the Demon books I should read short that I did. I have a couple of those going. I have a question one. I have a Swamp Thing one. A lot of great suggestions from those. I got some ideas for some of those in the future as well. Comics I should read as suggested by folks in the audience. I don't have any paper. Hold on just a second. I'm writing this down so I can make sure. So, I'm reading The Demon. Weirdly enough, I've only seen Etrigan in other comics. He's been a side character. I've never read his actual books. I love the character when he shows up in the cartoons, the cartoon movies, what have you. So I'm really excited to read this. And again, if there's any other, it's just the Demon Run, so I guess it shouldn't be that hard to find. But if you have it or you can find it and want to read it and talk about it, like I said, you're always free to. That way, it's not just Jay gabbing about books. Love hearing what other people think about the stuff that I'm reading. So, so folks, for the time being, the show's going to be at 8 Eastern, 7 Central. So if you're used to coming in here at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, we're still on. Probably not going to happen too much anymore. I'm going to try to trim these down to 3.5 hours at the latest. But we're starting at 7 now. Kind of give us a little time, and it's easier for some of the other folks joining or coming on the panel. It's easier for them to be here and do that, which is fine with me. I don't mind jumping on a little bit early. So, folks, that's all I got for tonight. It's a short-ish show, still at 3 hours, but shortish. I'm going to make him do it just because he doesn't get to do it that much. I'm going to make Sean close out the show. Let me switch one thing here so I can make sure I'm at the right. There we go. Make sure I'm at the right place. Folks, do me a favor. Check out the links in the chat. When the video's done, it processes and the live chat's available. You can check it then. I'm going to try to remember to put some of these links in the actual, that aren't channel links, the Kickstarter links I dropped. Put those and some of the Instagram links in the description of the video, so it'll be easier for you to find them. Yeah, it's about all I got. So, Ed, as always, brother, thank you for being here with us.
Yep, anytime.
And Sean, by all means, close it.
Oh, you're still. Oh, I was like, you're still on screen. All right, folks. It's good to be back. For anybody who didn't catch it towards the earlier part of the show, hopefully in a couple weeks it will actually legitimately be time for it to be a more regular thing for me to show up. As always, I appreciate Weird Dopes coming on. Ed, Nope, love those guys. Nope, hope you're enjoying your camping trip. Ed, I'll see you backstage shortly. Check out their channel. They do a plethora of content. It's not just comic book related. There's a lot of really cool stuff. Ed has done some very cool historic shorts that have taught me stuff that I never knew about. So definitely check them out because they offer a little bit of everything. Stay tuned. I don't know what Jay's got in terms of videos coming up for the next week. Once I get settled into the new schedule, videos can start coming out from me. But come back next week for our live and just stay tuned for everything we got. Until then, everybody, please enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace out.
We talk about everything that makes us hum. Hail Hydra Asylum, hail Hydra Asylum. From trailers, comics, news, and more, we'll give you what you're looking for. Hail Hydra Asylum, hail, 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 hail Hydra Asylum.
Hydra. Hydra. Oh, fancy.